webinar about buying bras, but also a great start to it because, yeah, because this is the question it comes down to. Okay, let's look here. We'll do the smallest one. Yeah, Chris. So here's the rental cost is so high. I didn't like the rental cost on it. Just do it for personal use. My credit score is right there. Self-employed. I don't know what they'll come out with, but let's say it's a 60-month. It would be about $500 a month to own at six. No, it'd be way less than that. It would be $250 a month to own at 60 months. You know, whatever it comes out to. Let's say it's $500 a month. Okay, I mean that's not that much, and considering how much I travel, I probably spend that much on hotels now. Now, my gas mileage would go down on that pretty significantly, but that's why I'm saying, like, you would trailer it, you'd move it from, like, so I'm in Altoona, so I'd go to Pittsburgh, I'd park it in Pittsburgh somewhere, and then have that be my base of operation. Go out sourcing, and then every night when I come back, I unload my truck into it, and then, like, I do a weekend prep day, and then go from there. I mean, yeah, not have the lodging, that would be awesome. And then, you know, that's what I've really thought about. I really enjoy having my warehouse. I love it. It's a good source of income. But I'm trying to get my warehouse to be more automated so that I don't have to do the prep as much anymore. And if I could do that, I mean, that would be perfect. And I would have a place to park it. You know, my warehouse parking lot is about 2 acres. So I'd have a place to put it. I don't know. What do you think, Doug? You're going to try to convince the missus to do it?
No, my goal would be able to just be able to take more family vacations and camping and get the dirt bikes out and stuff like that.
Well, there you go. You have your, okay. Here's what people don't understand about business. I'm going to share with you guys a really cool video. I promise we're going to talk about bras eventually, or maybe I'm just going to deflect for 2 hours. No, I'm kidding. So I did not buy my car with my business because my accountant just like told me, like, yeah, don't do that. I'm not going to let you do that. But my cargo van was bought by my business. It's a tax deduction. That guy right there did a video on how to buy a Tesla, and he basically is paying $78 a month for his Tesla. And it's because it's a business expense. So the thing is that if your business is large enough, you could write off a camper like that easily. Okay, I'm going to talk to my accountant about exactly how I want to do it with how my business is structured. But you could write that off, so you use it, you know, once a month, and it's all legit to do a deduction like that. And then in the summer, you know, Uncle Sam doesn't need to know that you know, go and drive out with your wife and kids in the motorcycles for a month at a time. Nobody needs to know that. And you can do it for free, you know? Okay. So, yeah, so and I was just talking to my accountant about I need to buy a new CNC lathe, and I was talking to my accountant about writing it off as a tax deduction, which obviously it is. It's a business expense. I use it for business. And I was talking to her about, like, what can I write off? Because I do, like, YouTube videos and Instagram videos. I'm like, at what point could I just buy, like, a Ferrari and say it's for my Instagram business? I mean, that doesn't, but could I? Like, you know, what's to stop me? Other than that I can't afford a Ferrari. I should point that out. I'm going to close my window real quick, and then we'll get started. It's getting cold in here. That's the thing that people don't realize about, like, Tai Lopez. People are like, oh, he doesn't own 12 Ferraris or whatever Tai Lopez claims to own. Yes, he does. It's all a tax write-off. He's probably, you know, he's buying them used. You can buy a Ferrari, you can buy like a Lamborghini 360 for 75 grand, okay? Your monthly payment on that would be $750. It doesn't need to run to put it in YouTube videos, okay? And next thing you know, you can like legit have a Ferrari for your YouTube channel. Okay, I'm pulling up slides now. We'll stop car talk. So how's everybody doing tonight? How's sales been? Chris, you were with me earlier in tactical arbitrage. Bubba, this is your second for the night. Doug, I think Nick, you were there. I gotta say, it's not that I'm creative. I'm the right level of shady, where I'm not gonna like flat out embezzle, but boy, will I bend those rules. Okay, so guys, let's get started here with bras. So you know, I talk about this, I call it a bra coaching or bra training, but it's really not. Now, there's a big focus on bras, but a lot of it is also going to be about shoes and other clothing. Now, the reason why I like bras so much as something to sell on Amazon is, you know, if you think of, you know, when I first got started in Amazon, I was thinking about doing a lot of private label. I do a good bit of private label now, and merchant or co-packing, where like it's private label groceries and stuff like that, and wholesale. But when you're thinking in the terms of a retail arbitrage seller that's thinking like a private label seller, one of the things that you come up with when you're thinking about like, is this a good product to sell, is what is the perfect product for Amazon? And it actually, you know, it's pretty basic what's perfect for Amazon. You want something small. You want something lightweight. You want something easy to prep. You want something that you can buy cheap and sell for a lot of money. You want something that sells fast. Okay? If you can find a product that does all of that, it's really the perfect product to sell on Amazon. Okay? And that's why, you know, I had my thinking cap on, I was trying to think of the perfect product, and then I'm out doing retail arbitrage, and I think it was like a TJ Maxx one time, and, you know, I'm looking at shoes, I'm looking at men's clothes, and then I'm like, well, let me go over and look at the ladies section. And then I saw cheap bras, and next thing you know, I'm like, well, wait, they're light, they're small, they're cheap, all that stuff, and now I sell bras. So Rob asked a good question. Do you do seller fulfilled prime with it? No, I do not. And the only reason is I don't do seller fulfilled prime anymore unless I absolutely have to. I got burnt so bad last year on seller fulfilled prime because I restricted where I was selling stuff. I did seller fulfilled prime on LOL balls. So I restricted where I was sending stuff, and I wanted to send stuff to just states that are adjacent to Pennsylvania because I'm in Pennsylvania. And next thing you know, I'm shipping stuff to Alaska and Hawaii and all over the country. And I end up spending like $75 because I have to overnight LOL balls to Hawaii. And I lost all my money on that. I lost all of my profit real quick. Yeah. So they've claimed to fix that, but I don't have any products right now that I really want to do seller fulfilled prime on. And I feel that the inventory system to do bras seller fulfilled prime would be a huge pain in the ass. So Ian, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, I did. Just a quick question. Do you commonly source through TJ Maxx?
We're going to get to that next. Okay. You're a slide ahead of me.
Okay.
So, yeah, no problem, though. But no, I don't, but not for the reasons that you would think. So anyway, that's where I came to with bras, and then I started looking for good sources for bras, and then I came across just doing Kohl's. So most of my bras, it's not a secret, come directly from Kohl's. Probably 90% of the bras that I do are from Kohl's. The reason I do so much with bras from Kohl's is because I do online arbitrage from Kohl's, and I'm banned. My main account is banned. So I take the Kohl's cash that I get from auxiliary Kohl's accounts that are like black hat Kohl's accounts that I probably shouldn't have. And all of that Kohl's cash, I don't have a way to spend it because I can't really spend it online. I drop it into bras. So that's what keeps me in bras so much. And I mean, before I decided to relaunch this bra coaching, I went out to like 4 Kohl's and spent about $800 each on bras. So, you know, it's legit. Kohl's is really good. So let's get started. We'll start from the beginning and let's talk about where to source, which is what Ian brought up, and he's asking a great question. So there's a variety of places to find good bras. I'm going to move my light down a little bit. But real quick, before I do dive in too much, and we were having fun with Toy Hauler Talk, if anybody has a question, feel free to type it out in the chat. Feel free to, you can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself. I have everybody muted right now just because atmospheric sounds mess it up for everyone. So unmute yourself at any point, ask me a question, do not hesitate, okay? So anyway, so let's talk about where to source. So Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, those stores were kind of where I got my start with doing bras and really doing a lot with retail arbitrage. Now I source those a lot less, but let's talk about how to source them correctly. So first thing you got to be really careful with all of those stores, and I'm just going to lump them into one store, okay? You got to be careful for defective product or irregular product, okay? Product that literally says it's irregular. That's a big problem. And sometimes it's not as obvious as you would want it to be. So you got to really look on the tag, make sure that there's not something. Sometimes they'll put an R on it or an I on it, and that stands for irregular or irregular, okay? So that's pretty easy. Now the problem, and I'm sure that Ian, you're one step ahead of me thinking where I am about to go. The problem with these stores is, so let's say I buy something, I buy an Under Armour item. So I send it into Amazon, customer buys it, customer for whatever reason says, oh, this is counterfeit. Okay, so Amazon says, oh, Chris, you sold a counterfeit item. Let me see the receipt. So the problem with all of those stores is the receipt's UPC, or the number on the receipt, it's not actually a UPC, whatever the SKU that would be the technical term for it, does not match the UPC the way that it should. Well, that's a huge problem for you. So some people, and specifically Perry and Kim, they source quite a bit from those stores. And what they do when they source from those stores is they photograph the receipt and the tag from TJ Maxx or Ross or Marshalls with the receipt, the item, and the tag. Okay, and that's what they do. I don't like to do that because I think that that's a pain in the butt more than it is, okay? Okay, we'll get to that in a second, Ian, but yeah, great question. You're like one slide ahead of me, dude. So with those stores, I think that that's a pain in the butt, but I have done it. I will do it. I do it now. It's just like, honestly, I do so much with like Kohl's and stuff that it's like so nice because the UPCs on those receipts match perfectly. You just throw the tags out. I don't have to photograph anything. And my time is money because I don't do any prep. I pay people to do my prep for me. So the longer that my prep goes, the more I have to pay them. And I don't like to have to pay my employees more than I have to. So that's my take on it. But if you have more time than money, then do it. I have more money than time, so I don't like to spend the time on doing that, okay? Does anybody have any questions about that? Does that completely make sense? Okay, the people that I know that do it, what they'll do is they'll take a phone, or at least how I've been at people's stores. Okay, Bubba, you're asking the right question. I've been at people's warehouses that do it. So they take a phone that's like not the regular phone, so like an older phone, and they just put it on a mount with like a light, you know, somewhere so it has good lighting, and they just save it all to a camera roll. But the beautiful thing about doing that is you can sort your photos by date very easily in a cell phone, whether you're using Google Photos or whatever iPhones use. So like, let's say Amazon says, oh, hey, we need the UPC, we need the tag, you know, you want to do that? You can just go in and see, oh, I made that shipment on January, February, March, April 25th, and you can pull your photos for April 25th and see real easy what it is. I have not had to do that, but I always do that. Does photographing the UPC tag and the ROS tag work? Is it good enough? And then yes, okay, yeah. So that's Joaquin. How do you pronounce your name? You're not muted. You can talk. Is it Joaquin, like Joaquin Phoenix? Or okay. Well, either way, yes, that's what people have done. And there's actually video. Well, I was going to say there's videos on it on YouTube, but that's where I learned it from Perry and Kim, and they've had good success with it. But also, that's what people like Garland Sullivan does that. So just that's what I've done. Is anybody doing that now?
It's actually what's been keeping me away.
What is?
I said that's actually what's been keeping me away is the extra steps and the different SKU numbers, item numbers.
Yeah, and like I said, Perry and Kim have had really good results with it. I've talked to Garland Sullivan; he's had good results with it. The only reason I don't do it that much is, number one, where I live, there's just not a lot of TJ Maxx. There's no Marshalls, and there's a real crappy Ross where everything is garbage. So it's not that big a deal for me, and that's why I don't do it. So to summarize, when Ian's like, oh, do you do it? I would, but I don't like the headache of having to do the extra step with the photos, which actually really isn't that much of a headache. And second of all, I don't like, I just don't have a good source. So that's why I don't do it. So, but if I did have a better source, I would probably do it. It would make more sense. By the way, you guys, you get to meet Snowball, my cat that decided to live me. Who's Jansport brand? Good, yeah. By the way, Jansport, keep your eyes peeled for Jansport at Kohl's. They did a big sale. They do a sale after school time, right before they put out their toys. And Jansport backpacks will be like $5, which is awesome. So, yeah. So I do source those stores, but like I said, not as much as like I used to, simply because it doesn't sustain my business anymore. And I do less labor-intensive things. But if you're starting out, it's a great way to go. And if you set it up that you like have your phone on a stand and you're doing everything, you could probably do it very, very fast. I just don't have that much interest in doing it, just because it's just not that big of a chain store near me. He's very sharp. So now I started this. I called it Discount Stores. Payless is on there. I should probably edit my slide because I don't think that Payless exists anymore. But also stores like Goodwill, or I'm sorry, I'm going to come back to Goodwill in a moment. But Walmart. Now, we're going to talk a lot about bras here. If you leave this webinar, what I always hope everybody leaves any webinar, any training, any coaching that I do, is to just do what I talk about. It doesn't need to be that you're like tomorrow, you're like, I am only selling bras. If all you ever do is just like, I'm going to go buy a few bras every month, let me go and hit the clearance aisle at Kohl's. Great. That's what I want to see you do. But if you're like really nervous about dipping your toe in the water, go to Walmart and look at their bra section, because they will legit have bras for $1. Okay. I think I have a photo. I have coaching slides here. I do not have photos of the rack, but seriously, Walmart sells Bali bras and Vassarette. They're tagged. They say $9.88 on them. Let me pull this up. Let me pull up Amazon here. Ian, again, you're a slide ahead of me, but yes, we'll talk about that in a moment. It's good to have somebody that's like really eager to go on, which is awesome and makes me happy. So Vasarat, this is like not a really great brand, but you can very often find this in racks in a Walmart for $1 or $2 a bra. They will be tagged like $9.88 on the bra or on the tag, but that's what is being sold for. So you're buying something for $1, selling it for $9.88. Not the greatest ROI in the world, but also the ranks on them can be amazing. You can make a lot of money flipping that. Okay. So I mean, 17K. We'll come back to ranks in a little bit, but 17K in clothing is a very solid rank. Okay, so yeah, so if you're looking to like kind of get started, the other thing with Walmart, this is more of an like not exactly for Walmart or for Amazon, but Walmart will have like a lot of T-shirts. Like at the end of 4th of July, they have a whole bunch of T-shirts that they call 4th of July shirts, but they're more like patriotic shirts. Like they'll have like eagles on them and stuff like that. I would sell those. I've sold them on Amazon before, but they also do real well on like Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, stuff like that. I prefer those outlets for no particular reason. You can sell them on Amazon if they do in fact come up, but just something to keep in mind. Those T-shirts from Walmart can be real solid. Now, one last thing, and then we'll get back to a couple questions. This is uncharted territory with UPCs. I wouldn't do this too much, but you can buy products from Goodwill sometimes to sell on Amazon as new, because Target, stores like Target, Walmart, just various stores will donate merchandise to stores like Goodwill. So I've gone into like a Goodwill and they had big packs of Hanes Tidy Whitey underwear, like 6 packs for $1. Okay. Now you won't have any receipt for it. So if you get, you know, an inauthentic or you need to provide a receipt, you're going to be boned, but it is there. Those might be a way better option to sell on like eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, etc., even Facebook Marketplace. I've done very well with selling returns, like on Facebook Marketplace. So, you know, just something to keep in mind. I mean, if you buy something for $1, you really just can't go wrong, especially if it's something that's normally like 20 bucks. So Ross tends to have UPCs that don't come up, and I suspect, although unsure, that they're run made for Ross. So it has to be a regional thing, because where are you located, Ian, number one? Because almost all of my Rosses, let me mute my phone here. I did not mute my phone. Okay. All of my Rosses, they come up correctly. So that might just be your experience, but in that case, I would manually search that. We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that where I talk about some sourcing stuff in a little bit. Jansport, I haven't had too much of a problem with Jansport with IP claims. I've heard some people have, but I haven't. And if you're sourcing it from Kohl's, you're going to be fine. You know, if you need to show a receipt, that Kohl's receipt will be perfect. Okay, so let's talk outlets. Chris, what's your zip code? For Christine, what's your zip code? I'm pulling something up here real quick. So outlets can be massive when it comes to sourcing. Okay. Okay, so outlets, I'm pretty sure we're all pretty familiar with outlets. You know, they're like a clump of stores together, kind of like usually an outdoor mall that has all sorts of, you know, stores, Nike, Adidas, Hot Topic, whatever. With those, what you can very often find really good deals. So what you want to do when you're looking for outlets is you want to go and check out the website for the outlets before you go shopping. So Chris is here. So basically, there's two major brands of outlet stores in the country. We have Opitz, which I've never actually heard of before, but we'll look at. I don't know Opitz, but the biggest outlet brands are Simon and, oh man, now I'm drawing a blank. Tanger. Okay, Simon and Tanger. Okay, so Opitz, let's look here at Opitz. That's probably why I've never heard of them. They're up in Minneapolis. Oh, okay, so this can't be it. Here, let's look this, we'll look this up. Okay, Albertsford Outlet Mall. Premier, you'll see Premier sometimes, but this is Simon. Okay, so this is a Simon property. Okay, so as such, we can go already online. We can see, you know, what kind of stores they have. Yeah, it's pretty good. Carter's is a good place to shop. Okay, but here's what we can do. We can go to deals, and it'll actually show us what sales are going on. Now, one thing you don't want to fall into, and this is kind of where outlets can get you sometimes, is you'll see GH Bass does this. Let's see if you guys have GH Bass. If you don't, I'll pull up. Okay, Columbia's doing it. So what Columbia's doing is it's not 60% off like the price in the outlet. It's 60% off the price in the retail store at full sticker price. So like that means that like, hey, this jacket, this Columbia jacket is $99.99. At our outlet, it's 60% off, so it's $39.99. Okay, I mean that might be good if it's a good product. However, for the most part, it's not. What we want to look for, let's see if we can find something. So, okay, so like buy one, get one, 50% off. Okay, so you already have the fragrance at an outlet and they're having a sale. That's pretty solid. Okay, friends and family, this is at Talbot's. I've never actually, we don't have Talbot's near me, so I don't know if Talbot's is any good. I know it's a clothing store. I think it's like a Ross. But here's where you can do really well. So they're doing this Aeropostale thing, okay? This has made me a lot of money. I had a very large Amazon seller, like a multi-million-dollar a month Amazon seller, actually send me an Amex with no credit limit on it, which was kind of crazy, in my name, which was also kind of crazy, to go and buy him gift cards from a Simon outlet. And I bought gift cards for Nike. So they'll rotate what brand you can buy these gift cards for. My niece, I'll tell you this, my niece's birthday, she's turning 18 in 4 days. So I bought her $250 worth of Aeropostale gift cards because she loves Aeropostale. And because of that, for every $50 I got a $10 gift card. So, you know, my niece is real happy and I got a $50, I got $5, $10 gift cards for the outlet. Now, Aeropostale, I don't really think is a brand a lot of people are selling on Amazon, but sometimes this will be brands like Bed Bath & Beyond, okay, Nike, Adidas. It's like all the big brands. So like if you can go there, you know, like if you want to sell Nike on Amazon and you're ungated and everything, you want to go to the store. Well, just at the beginning, you're going to the outlet with 20% off before you even step in the store, not taking into account friends and family, okay, which I'll just bring up friends and family now. So Nike does a sale called Friends and Family. They do it a few times a year. I think they do it like 6 times a year. And in order to take advantage of it, you have to have a coupon. Typically, the coupon is limited to 5 items per coupon, and you have to, that you give them the coupon, they destroy it when you use it. So when they do a friends and family and I'm doing Nike and I'm buying Nike, I will go, and what I do is I buy them on eBay. That seems to be a pretty common thing. It works pretty nicely, like especially if you know sellers near you that will go with you. I have a couple sellers from Ohio that all buy a bunch of friends and family coupons, and then we'll meet up in Pittsburgh at the outlets, and then we'll use them. You can do, like Chris and Jamie, you guys could like split them. And that's a pretty easy way to go. I'll come back to deals on that in a moment. So with these, we got the Simon outlets and we got Tanger outlets. Okay, so same basic setup for both of them, okay? What you want to do with these kinds of stores, you want to join like their VIP club. You'll get like basically a shopping membership. And I think it was Tanger, their Tanger club, you get basically 1% cash back with them. Doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, if you spend enough at outlets, 1%'s 1% for really doing nothing. So you get up to level 4, you get a $25 gift card. But the biggest thing that I love is they'll have exclusive deals just for the gift card or just for the club card holders, or maybe extended shopping days and stuff like that. Definitely worth signing up for. I believe, I know Tanger has an app, and yep, so does Simon. They both have an app. So I would definitely be checking that out. And you can kind of see what's going on. You know, a lot of them have sales, like they're showing here, this Altered State store I've never heard of, where 50% off all clearance. That could be huge. Imagine 50% off all clearance at Nike, okay? Now, we will come back to Nike and issues with boxes and stuff before, because a couple people have asked me questions here already ahead of us. So we'll come back to those a little bit. But yeah, so outlets can be a great way to shop. And you can find stores at outlets like obviously Nike, Adidas. Adidas does a really cool sale. I don't think they're doing it right now. Let's see here, where it's called like the green dot or the red dot sale. I'll do Pittsburgh. Okay, so now the red dot sale will be like everything with the red dots 33% off, everything with green dots like 50% off or something like that, some variation of that. That can be a really good deal, okay? And the other thing about outlets is, you know, Nike's kind of tough with resellers. They used to not be. Nike, I used to kill it from Nike. I would go in and they would literally let me use a dressing room to fill up with inventory until I was waiting to check out. Now they're not going to do that. I'll talk about Nike here. So with Nike, they typically will restrict you to 5 pairs of shoes per person per day. So the way that I get around that is I'll actually just take somebody with me to go shopping. I've gone like to Pittsburgh. I know people that live in Pittsburgh. I also will go early in the day and then wait for a shift change. So, you know, like if I go to that outlet, I'll show up at 10 o'clock in the morning and then I'll just come back a few hours later. And as weird looking as I am, I'm apparently nondescript enough that nobody really cares. They don't flag your credit card. They threaten people with flagging credit cards. I use the same credit card for sourcing pretty much everywhere, and I've never run into a problem with that. If it does run into a problem for you, it's actually pretty easy to get credit cards with multiple numbers in your name. If you have business credit cards, that's a pretty standard request. Capital One will do it. I have Capital One credit cards. So if Capital One will do it, anyone else will do it. So it's easy to get around. Now, one of the problems with Nike in particular is they rip the lids off the boxes. So what I'll say right now is one of the things that I always want to do when I'm doing webinars and I'm talking to people about stuff is I always say, when I'm going to talk about the Amazon terms of service, go check this out yourself, read it and interpret it your own way, especially because I'm recording this. So, you know, if you pick this up and read it or watch it a year from now, Amazon may change the rules. Now, when I got into selling on Amazon about 5 years ago, you could sell on Amazon without the shoe lids, okay? You could actually put Nikes in a generic box. It did not violate the Amazon terms of service. Then about 18 months ago, they decided that that was against the terms of service and that could not be considered new. So then everybody that was selling shoes recalled their shoes. Then the price on shoes went up drastically on Amazon, and Amazon now, as of about 6 to 9 months ago, I forget how long ago it happened, they now allow you to sell shoes with a box, like a plain brown paper box. Okay, that's how I sell almost all of my shoes. Almost all of my shoes are clearance shoes that I've sent in brown paper boxes. Now, part of the thing that I do a lot with is Amazon to Amazon flips. The most expensive pair of shoes that I've ever bought for an Amazon to Amazon flip was $1,800. Okay, I didn't pay $1,800 for it, but it was an $1,800 pair of cowboy boots. I get the $1,800 pair of cowboy boots in a brown box. It was not the correct box. Okay. And, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? And I know that, if Amazon does it, why can't I do it? Are very dangerous things to think. But the thing that I've realized from buying shoes for myself on Amazon or getting returns for shoes, and I process returns for Amazon sellers at my warehouse. That's like what my prep company does, is Amazon will take a pair of Nikes, let's say, and then throw the damn thing. So you have a brand new pristine pair of Nikes in the brand new Nike box, and it's super good. Wait, I have a page with Facebook open. Let me close that. Sorry. Okay, so I have this like brand new squeaky mint condition box of Nikes. I've literally seen them just slap a label on the Nike box and send it to the customer. Of course, the box opens and the shoes go out, so the customer gets an empty box with a label on it. I've also seen them take that box and throw it in a Tyvek envelope or a poly mailer envelope, and of course it gets banged to hell, and that's no good. I actually bought a pair of Yeezys on Amazon as an Amazon flip. I'm the proud owner of Yeezys. I think they're 350s, and they came to me in a envelope and the box was damaged. Those are $1,000 shoes. Okay, I didn't pay $1,000 for them, but the point is that they're extremely expensive shoes, and Amazon does not give a shit. Okay, so the thing is my thought is, why they're handling my inventory that way? Why does it matter if it's in a box? Because it's never going to get to the customer in a condition that matters. Now, the caveat to that, the big asterisk, especially in Nike, is I do not sell collectible Nike shoes without the box lid. So most collectible Nike shoes would be the shoes in the black box with like rare editions, like, an Air Jordan, stuff like that. I don't do those without the box. I do them with the box all the time, but I won't do them without the box. If you're looking at the rank and file Adidas shoe or Nike shoe, where it's, some cleat for some kid to play football, they don't care about the box. And that's my thought on it. I will also talk real quick here about Ross. I want to show you guys something. This was a Ross find of mine. Yeah. Okay. So this is why I do still source shoes at Ross. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see exactly what these are, but these are Doc Marten dress shoes. I paid $35 for these. It's a pretty good price without the box. It's a pretty good price. Doc Marten dress shoes are about $75. So yeah, I got them about 40% off, $40 off. But this is where they get crazy. If you look inside here, it's kind of hard because of how glary my light is. These are the real deal, made in England, lifetime warranty Doc Martens. They don't make these anymore. They no longer honor their lifetime warranty. They don't make those shoes anymore. So these are the some of the last shoes that came out with the lifetime warranty on them. These are worth about $250 for the pair. Okay. I have a basket full of them. So bought these at a Ross. These were just a crazy once in a lifetime deal. These are not your average Doc Martens. These came down to knowing the brand. I wear Doc Martens almost every day. So yeah, that I just wanted to show those to you. So Joaquin, and please tell me if I'm saying your name wrong, asked, where do I source? Are the doctors not selling? No, I'm not going to sell those. I'm not going to sell these on Amazon just because they don't have the box and how rare they are, how expensive they are. I'm going to get a better price on eBay. Okay, so that's the only reason. So what? Okay, doing it right. Okay, awesome. So Joaquin, he asked, where do I source the brown paper box? Uline, uline.com. I will pull it up for you guys and show it to you. And I'll share it with the group chat. So I will tell you guys right now, I have a box, or a, I'm sorry, not a box, I was reading while I was talking. I have a video that I made on how to prep shoes and how to prep bras. For some reason, Zoom, oh, I don't want to send that just to Ian. I want to send it to everyone. So for some reason, I used to be able to play a video through Zoom, and then you guys could hear the audio. And what I used to do is in the middle of my webinar, I had a video that I would play, and I'd use that to sneak off and go to the bathroom and get a drink. Then they changed it. Now I can't do that anymore. So I'll just share the video with you guys. I'm recording this whole thing. I'm going to email you guys a copy of the recording, and then I'll include that with you. So it'll show exactly how to prep bras and how to prep shoes and all of the materials that I use to do that prep. So basically, although it hasn't come up yet, I'll tell you, like with shoes like this, so I got my Nikes or my Doc Martens here. What I would do is I would stuff the toe with butcher paper or newsprint or tissue paper, any of those kinds, whatever I have available or is cheapest. You can buy it right off Uline. And then what I do is I would wrap it a certain way, and I show that in the video, and then I'd put it in the box and ship it to the customer. Very easily done. Now, one of the things that you really need to consider and look out for with outlets is you want to avoid sourcing outlet specific or outlet only items. And they're real easy to tell what is what. So let's say I pick up a pair of Nike shoes and it's an outlet only item. Firstly, first tip off that it's outlet only is the UPC won't scan. Okay, now that doesn't mean anything, but the UPC won't scan. Now I'm going to show you guys, I got a pair of Nikes right here. Okay, so I got a couple pair of Nikes here to show you guys. Okay, so with Nikes in particular, what you want to do, and I'll show you guys this examples with bras too in a moment when I get to that slide, is if these were outlet only, so I would scan the UPC that's on the box, it would not show up. So, and that doesn't mean it's outlet only right there, okay? There's more to it. So then what we want to do is if you look in the tongue, and this is true for most shoes, okay? So if you look in the tongue, okay, it's kind of hard to see because it's so bright, there will be a model number. So in this case, it is, so what I would search in the Amazon seller app is Nike and then 842770, okay? So that's the model number. I don't search anything else. I don't put color, sizes, anything like that in, and that will pull it up. If at that point it does not pull anything up, I know that that is an outlet only item, and that's why I'm not finding it on Amazon. An example, a big example of where you'll find that is places like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Coach, stores like that. Now, I'll tell you right off the bat, and I think we're all guys here, don't do anything dumb like try to sell Louis Vuitton on Amazon or Coach. So I bought Missy, my girlfriend is Missy Marazzo, if you guys know who she is. So I bought Missy a Coach purse for Christmas. Bought it direct from Coach.com. Bought it as a Black Friday special. She's had so many people tell her that it's counterfeit, and it's like infuriating. I'm like, I bought it from Coach.com. You can't buy a counterfeit Coach purse from Coach.com. So even if you're selling legit stuff, I would so be worried that people will pick it up, be like, it's fake. My girlfriend says it's fake for whatever dumb reason. Everybody seems to know how to authenticate a Louis Vuitton purse, okay? And most of the people that think they can do it don't know what the hell they're talking about. So I'm sorry, I'm getting heated about Louis Vuitton purses. But that's something important to look out for. Now, let me make sure, yeah, it really is. It really is. And that damn purse was like $200. It was a really nice purse, and she loves it. But people tell her all the time, like, oh, Chris bought you a fake purse. And I'm like, I'm not a fan of that. So does anybody so far have any questions about, so far we've done discounts and we've done outlet stores. Next, I'm going to talk about clearance stores. Let's talk real quick. I'll bring this up while I'm waiting for any questions to roll in, and feel free to interrupt me. Let's talk real quick about cleats. We're going to talk more about athletic shoes in a little bit here, but these are a really good example of a good, solid, I think these are a woman's cleat. So one of the things you need to look out for when you buy cleats and sell cleats is if you look on the bottom and you see there's holes with threads, okay? If there's holes with threads, most likely they come with a cleat key and cleats, okay? So that's what a Nike cleat key with the cleats looks like. Now, I just have these in a bag. This would not be acceptable. You could send these in a poly bag, just don't send it in a dirty Ziploc bag like I have them in right now. But it's important, you know, if you are like sourcing these, you could I sourced these from Ross. Okay, I paid $17 for them. Okay. In fact, let's pull them up. Let's look them up on Amazon right now. Yeah, I'll talk about ungating a little bit. Okay, so Amazon. Back to here, we'll see how I search out in Amazon for a pair of shoes, 615. 982. 615, 982. Okay. So these look similar. They are the same shoe. They're just different colors. And that's not the right call. That's not the right shoe. Okay, so the problem was I got these, somebody bought these for me that was an old sourcer and messed up. These don't pull up. So, but that's what I searched, this 615982. That's the little number that's in the tongue, okay? So that's what I pulled up, and you can see here, yeah, it doesn't say here that they come with the cleat key, but they do come with the cleat key. It also happens to come with a bag for them. So I like to have all of that. You definitely always want to have your shoes be complete. So if you are ever in a position to sell cleats, some people don't like to sell cleats because they are such a specific thing. But if you can get cleats cheap enough, go for it. Here, I'll show you guys something really cool. Oh, you guys are still seeing my screen. So I was in an auction a few years ago. And this is all stuff from, I think it was Sports Authority, when Sports Authority went out of business. That was my car after I got done. And what was funny about those, that's about 1,000 pairs of shoes altogether. What was so funny about that was that they all had the anti-theft tags on them, both shoes. So I had to use a pair of bolt cutters and take all of the anti-theft tags off, which is very, very annoying. and every time you pop those off, they go off. So I had to throw out in my garbage, like literally a 55-gallon bag of those things going off. I had to clip them all off on a Sunday because my trash day was Monday. Very frustrating, or very annoying. So just some of the stuff. This was an auction. I'd recommend not buying shoes at an auction. There is no protection for you. Okay. Yeah, all of those I did into brown boxes. So they didn't come with boxes. So I still have some of them. If you want any really cheap shoes, I got you, boo. So clearance. This is where I do the best. Okay, this is where most of my sales are. These over here. No, I don't want my cat to chew on my Nikes. So clearance. So this is where I do most of my stuff. So my big source of clearance is Kohl's. Just right off the top, Kohl's. We're going to talk a lot about Kohl's because Kohl's, I think, is the best place to buy bras. I also do a lot with Macy's. Your Macy's can be very hit or miss. My Macy's will do bras. Their clearance will be something like, they have different levels of clearance. So they'll have clearance where, like, this rack, everything is 2 for $20. And that's a pretty good deal sometimes. And then they'll also have another rack that's everything's 2 for $10. That's a really good deal. $5 bras, that's a good deal usually. Macy's will do similar, or Macy's will do that. I've seen Boscov's do it too. Okay. Yeah, all of this, none of this is about online arbitrage. This is all about retail arbitrage, going in store. Okay. But Macy's you can do through tactical arbitrage. I've ordered from them before. Boscov's can be good and have good quality stuff. And then Target usually doesn't have good brands because they have so many private label brands, but they sell Hanes and Bali and Warner's and stuff like that. So they can be pretty good. Another one that like really, well, I've already talked about Walmart clearance. That can be pretty good. Another one that a lot of people don't think this way, and I always like thinking a little bit off the beaten path when it comes to sourcing. So I met a lady, and all of her inventory, she was about $1 million a year Amazon seller, came from Nordstrom. Okay, so if you're not familiar with what Nordstrom is, it is like, so Walmart is the trailer park of places to shop. Okay, anybody can go to Walmart. Then you got Target. You know, if you get a little bit of money, you go to Target, right? Then if you get a little bit more money that Target's a little gauche, you go to Kohl's. Okay, so we got Walmart, Target, Kohl's. So then you got like Macy's and JCPenney. Okay, they're better than Kohl's, Target, and Walmart. But then like Nordstrom is like way up there. And then maybe right above Nordstrom is like Lord & Taylor or Barney's. Okay. So that's the thing. Like Nordstrom is such an expensive place. I don't have any Nordstrom near me, but she was doing crazy numbers from Nordstrom on their sales, doing their clearance, hitting their clearance, because nobody sources Nordstrom. Okay. So guys, big sourcing tip, go and try sourcing at Nordstrom if you have them. But like they have bras that are like $150. So if you have a bra that's $150, they'll throw it on a rack at 90% off. I've actually sourced at Nordstrom when I'm in an area that has them. Same with Lord & Taylor. I don't really know a lot. Nordstrom Rack. Now, Nordstrom Rack's a little bit different. I mean, Nordstrom Rack is basically the clearance section of Nordstrom, but Nordstrom, the store, can have very good deals. So this particular seller got me in on it. This is crazy because makeup, I don't know anything about makeup. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm only wearing a slight foundation with a mild eyeliner, so I don't really know. But she got me in on this makeup deal, and this palette was coming out. It was $100 for the palette, and it was 3 things on the palette. And she's like, Chris, you gotta buy this. I'm like, no, I'm not buying that. That's so expensive. She's like, listen, I'm buying 50 of them at $100. I'm like, why? This makes no sense. So it turns out that one of the colors in the palette had only ever been released once and was selling there. It was released one time as a single palette and was selling for $250 just for that palette, okay? Or just for that one color. So they're re-releasing the color in this palette for $100 plus the 3 other colors. So and these were like kind of big. So she was like, that one's worth $25, that one's worth $50, and that one's worth $250. She's like, you will get $400 all day for that palette. So I was like, I trust you. So I bought a bunch of them from Nordstrom, full price, everything, and I sold them. I got like 3 something for them each. And I had friends that I was like, oh yeah, I had this palette from Nordstrom. They're like, what, you had, the color was called champagne. They're like, oh my God, you had champagne? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, do you still have any of those? And I was like, no, So yeah, Rob's saying, wow, it's crazy how some people buckle down and make money at places where some say there's no money to be made. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. I mean, there's so many people who are like, oh yeah, you can't shop at Kohl's, because if you walk into Kohl's, everything in Kohl's is expensive, except if you know how to shop at Kohl's, which we're going to cover next. So does anybody have any questions so far? And let me talk real quick here. Joaquin, you asked about getting ungated. I'll just talk about getting ungated now. Again, anybody have any questions, interrupt me, post it in the chat. You guys are all asking great questions. In fact, this is probably the most talkative group I've had in a long time, which is really great. I hate talking to myself. So with getting ungated, number one about getting ungated, and we went through, there's been a lot of talk, and somebody just said they just got started. I started yesterday. Okay, Joaquin. Okay, Nick, we're going to come back to that, Nick, because you're asking. Nick asked, what are the best brands of Brazosaurus? We're going to get to that when we get to bras. We're going to get bra specific here. So Joaquin, you're probably, if you just started yesterday, you're gated in everything. Okay, I'm going to just assume. So Joaquin, can you talk? Like, do you have a microphone? Well, either way, with bras or with anything, with getting ungated, you will start to see. Okay, your problem's Bali. So that sucks, man. Okay, so let's talk about this. So with getting ungated, what you want to look for. Well, so firstly, I have found with getting ungated in my accounts that I've started new accounts for other businesses or helping clients get ungated, is you will find that you will start to get a lot of ungatings at being a seller for 6 months, selling $100,000, and then also selling $10,000 a month. Okay, your first 6 months, you'll get a lot of ungatings. Your first $1,000 or your first $10,000 month, you can get a lot more ungatings. And once you've sold $100,000, you'll get a lot of ungating potential. The other thing is with with Bali, okay, there's 2 different brands of Bali. There's Bali and Bali Designs. Okay, there's no differentiation. There's literally bras where half the bras are Bali and they're the same listing. Half the bras are Bali, half the bras are Bali Design. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So with that in mind, I have found that once you get ungated in Bali, getting ungated in Bali Designs, that's the harder of the 2, is easy. Now, Bali, let me confirm. Want to make sure that I'm telling you guys the correct thing. Okay, yes, that I am correct. So Bali is owned by Hanes. Okay, so what I have done for clients to get them ungated. See, I'm spoiled. I have an old account. Everything's unrestricted. Okay. Here's what you want to do. Looking for the vendor directory right there. So what you want to do, advanced search here. Apparel. I don't know exactly which the right one will be, but I have used these, I've used different ones of these to get people engaged. So that's ASD. Okay, that's their search. We'll dive into this a little bit more here. So what you're going to want to look for is a lot of these are will have accounts with Hanes. So I think Embry was one of them. I think that this was it. Okay, so what you're going to want to do, yeah, okay, Comfort King. Okay, yeah. So Comfort King, this one here, there's a few of them in ASD. You can look through this. Some of them have been very profitable, not like terribly profitable for me, but have been, you know, not great, but they've gotten people engaged for me. So if you're located, see, you're out in California. I'm usually looking on the East Coast. So that's why, where's Comfort King out of? Yeah, Hanes Brands, so. Oh, and they're in New Jersey. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Joaquin, that's basically it. 10 units from them. Usually they'll sell you a few cases. It's pretty basic. So you guys can see that's all the places that I source pretty regularly. This is what I do. I drive around the country just sourcing like that. So so yeah, Ian, thank you on that one. But looking at ASD, looking at the Magic trade show, and this is more general, like if you're looking for Bali, look at the brands that are owned. You know, Hanes seems to own everyone. So I just wanted to confirm, I didn't want to give a bad piece of information, but if you look at the Hanes brands, so if you can get unrestricted in Hanes brands, they own, okay, I'm not even going to read these all off, but we got Hanes, Champion, Playtex, Bali, Maidenform, Legs, JMS, Hanes, Wonderbra, Duofold. You know, so a lot of brands. And so Hanes is a big get, especially if you're looking to do bras. Okay, so far with what we've covered, where to source, does anybody have any questions? Okay, so let's talk about what to pick. bras. Okay, so let me. What we're going to talk about Kohl's in depth in a moment. That's the in depth part. Okay. So variations to pick. Let me start with this. Usually I'm just going to Quentin Tarantino this and tell you guys how this ends. I buy any bra. I don't care if it's profitable. I buy it. Okay. But if you're limited on budget and you want to get started with bras, here are some considerations and some variations for you that can help you buy bras that are faster selling. Okay. We also all have guys here. I think that there's no women watching this. A little bit of a sausage fest. But does anybody here, okay, wife is watching. Quick question. Does anybody, without Googling it, know the average bra size in America? Okay, so the average bra size in America is 34, nope, 38D, nope, 34 double D, okay? So the average bra size in America is 34 double D. Rob, you've watched this webinar before. You don't count, okay? So 34 double D. I think you've watched it before. But anyway, so 34 double D is the average bra size in America. So if you know what a bell curve is, so most women are 34 double D, and then it'll go out. So what a bra size is, and it's great that I'm not explaining this to a bunch of women, because very often I spend my time explaining a bra size to women. Now I'm explaining it to guys, so hopefully you guys don't know. But however, Joaquin's wife is watching. But so basically a bra size, the number is the band, which is around the bottom of the breast, okay, your diameter of the chest, and then the cup size, the A, B, C, D, etc., is a volumetric measurement of the size of the breast. So a large band, okay, so for instance, I've sold a bra that was a 54, which is probably bigger than me. It's a bigger chest size than me, but an A cup. So it's a very large chest with a small cup. I've also sold the largest cup to small band was a 28, which is a very small band, G, okay? So, they kind of like scale on each other. So they kind of scale on each other. So like a 44G is not as big as a 28G. I don't really quite understand all that, and honestly, it doesn't really matter for what we're doing. But, you know, bra sizes or cup sizes that are like, you would say like unusual, they sell really well. The other thing is a lot of women wear the wrong cup size. That's another thing that I found out with doing bras. I'm actually in a trade association for for lingerie and hosiery sellers. It's a weird thing. So if you're looking for fast, I had to turn my, Chris, they already know you're weird. You guys all saw that, right? Okay. So if you're looking for the fastest selling bras, you're going to want to try to be between about a 34B and a 38E. Okay. Those, in my experience, have been the fastest selling. Okay. They are also easier to find on clearance because the way that bras work, and this is really the way almost anything works that has sizing. So a store like Kohl's, let's say, will get a case of bras, and let's say there's 100 bras in it. They will have the most of the most common sizes. So in that case of 100 bras, there might be 10 34 double Ds. Okay, great. Then they'll have 5 32Ds and 5 36Ds. And then it goes out from there, okay? Well, that means that those fringe sizes, as I like to call them, you know, when everybody comes in and buys the average bra size, they are left with like the outside bra sizes, okay? And that's not always true. Sometimes you'll pull up bras that are a 34 double D on a clearance rack, and that's great. But you'll often find unusual sizes. So here's the thing about bras like that. If you're a 34 double D, if you're 44 or a 32B, you walk right into Victoria's Secret, Aerie, Kohl's, Walmart, Target, any store that sells bras, they'll have your bra. If you're a 54A, nobody's got that bra. You're just not going to find it. If you're 28G, you're not going to find it unless you go online. And one of the biggest retailers of bras in the world is Amazon.com, and we're Amazon.com sellers. So what you're able to do is those hard to find sizes and unusual sizes, you're able to sell, get them cheap and sell them. And what I've experienced with bras, so on a bra, there'll be an MSRP. So typically, so Rob's saying, what size do I prefer, like personally or in a business aspect? So when you're selling bras like that, so the bra has a sticker price. It's usually $42, depending on the brand. A lot of Bali's bras are $42. So we'll just say 42 bucks. So when you go into, say, Target, or I'm sorry, Kohl's, they'll very often be 90% off or 80% off. So let's say it's 80% off at $8.40, and then all the discounts. And we'll get into discounts next. So you buy it for that. So on Amazon, the median sizes are all going to be like 24 bucks or so. They're cheaper than the MSRP. Whereas those outlier sizes, the weirder, the quote unquote weird sizes, those are going to be way more expensive. So it actually is like an inverse kind of thing where the more common sizes are cheaper, the less common sizes are more expensive. Okay, so that's pretty nice. Okay, so we can buy these, unusual sizes or less common sizes and really be profitable with it. That's something that's very helpful. So does anybody have any question about bra sizes? They're pretty basic. And like I said, I don't care about bra sizes. The only reason I even bring it up is just because people, they always ask me, well, what bra sizes will sell the best? Well, there you go. You now know, the average bra sizes. You want to sell the most common sizes. We're going to talk about shoes next, by the way. And Rob, to answer your question, whatever size Jameson's mom is. So the next question is about colors, okay? So bra colors, this is something that I found shocking. I saw a thing that came up that most women on average own 3 bras, which is very, very unusual. Okay, Joaquin, we'll get to that, but yeah, I don't care. They all sell the same. Underwire versus no wire, padded, no padded. Doesn't matter. We're going to talk about ranks in a second. So, you'll just look at the ranks. No rhyme or reason. Okay? Now, most common colors when it comes to variation, most women, again, owning 3 bras, the most common sizes are black, red, nude, and then, let me do this again. Black, white, nude. Okay? Those are the 3 top colors. Now, one thing that's important is that colors like bronzes and taupe. Let me pull up some bras here because I'm listing off colors here. Okay. So this would be like a cocoa. They're calling it. Where's my chat go? Okay, so cocoa here, like this would be a nude for a woman that's darker skin, like an African American woman. Okay, and then so this would be nude for a Caucasian woman, and this is called what? Cafe. Okay, and then Velvet Kitten? What the hell? Okay, that was... Okay. And then this, like, they're calling it warm steel. It's hard to see like on your computer screen, but like this might be like the skin tone for like a woman that's darker, like a Latino woman or an Asian woman. Okay, so you know, just keep those colors in mind. I sell a lot of these colors. Okay, it seems like they might not sell as well. Like, who would buy a brown bra? Well, there you go. Thanks, Rob. Okay. And then red is a very common color, and then just generally solid colors. Okay. Jewel tones are real popular. What if I had to avoid anything, it would be patterned bras. Okay. Or pastel, like bright, like pastel colors, like, well, bright pastel colors. That doesn't make sense. But like colors like a hot pink or a neon green and stuff like that, I would avoid those. But for the most part, I'll buy any bra. Okay. Again, these just go back to like, if you have limited budget, go for it. The other thing is that brighter colors and more flamboyant colors typically sell well in smaller sizes. More muted colors typically sell well in larger sizes. And I've always thought maybe younger women buy smaller sizes so they're more flashy, whereas an older woman will buy bras that are larger. There's nothing really behind that. That's just what I've thought. So maybe I'm wrong, but that's been also what I've found. And I call Give the Bras a Cute Test, which basically, you know, like, look at it. I mean, I've picked up bras that are like super bold patterns and stuff, and I put them back because like I just can't see anybody buying them. But again, I'll pretty much buy almost any bra. It doesn't really matter. They all just seem to do pretty well for me. So, does anybody have any questions about bra sizes, colors, anything like that? Do I buy doubles? Like two bras at once, like two bras on a pack? Yeah, yep. You'll see those a lot at Ross and with lower end bras. They're usually pretty cheap bras that they'll put two on a hanger. They usually don't scan. That's also a good point. But yes, I will buy those. But also, I'm real lazy, so a lot of times I won't scan them. If I scan them and they don't pull up, I don't buy them. But you will find those quite a bit at discount stores like Ross. Walmart has a lot of like Bosserette doubles where it'll be $14.88 for two bras, and they'll be like on clearance and stuff. So yeah, I'll do those. Yes, I do. And I think you have, I do. So Bubba asked, do you put the hanger tag of a double in with the set while prepping? Yes. For no real particular reason other than I think that that's the way to do it. I just have bigger poly bags for those. Now, you bring up a good question. I have a video about bra prepping, and I'll share it with you guys at the end of this video. I'm not sharing right now. Am I? No. So here, I'll share this with you guys right now, but don't watch it right now. Yeah, Rob, I'll typically skip those, but also at the same time, I mean, they kind of sell. It just comes down to if you're okay with holding on it. Yeah, I'll manually enter titles. I actually have some bras examples to show you guys how I source bras. so you guys can source along with me. Yeah, it totally does. Oh shit. My bra prepping video was not supposed to be public. Okay, so that's the video to prep bras. Okay, shoes and bras, pretty easy, and that explains it. So I used to show, like I said, I used to show a video in the middle of this group. In the middle of this, for some reason that doesn't work with Zoom anymore. It just sounds real weird. So I don't do it anymore. But now I was going to share it at the end, and I'll share it when I send you guys a recording. That's an integral part of the whole process. So it's good to have. Okay, now do I do panties? Yes, I do. But a lot of the panties I do are in packs. So the problem with panties is that they're cheap. Like, you know, a single pair of underwear is usually cheap. But if you can do like a 5-pack or a 3-pack, then that's really good. Just a fun story. One of my old employees, she was prepping. I had bought a bunch of expensive underwear, and they were G-strings. And I had like an extra small G-string, and she folded it up like really tiny and put it in the poly bag, and then put the sticker on, and the whole poly bag was the size of the sticker, and it was really funny. But yeah, so I will sell those like in rare occasions, but for the most part I skip over them. Like, especially, I just don't see that there's a lot of value in it unless they're large packs. Once you start to get into like 3-packs and 5-packs, totally worth it. Can be very profitable. Okay, so we're gonna skip. Do you get into shapewear? Yes, absolutely. Shapewear, leggings, bras, all of that stuff is good. Now, I will tell you right now, if you buy shapewear from Kohl's, it almost always has a sticker, an anti-shoplifting sticker in it. So make sure they take that off. If they don't, I'd recommend buying, you can look up YouTube videos. I won't share a particular one because they're all good. How to remove an anti-shoplifting tag from stuff with a magnet. I use a rare earth neodymium magnet that I bought off of Amazon to remove those, and then I throw them in a basket. And then once I get a basket full, I take them back to Kohl's. They're like $5 each. Now, let's talk real quick about one of the things with Kohl's, with Ross, with all of those companies, is you want to look out for their private label brands. Now, there's no reason to not scan them, but let me show you this. It's not like you're going to get in trouble for them, but, oh, I want to open Chrome. Okay, so one of their big brands is Apartment 9. Okay, so I searched Apartment 9. We have one listing for it in the top 6. Top 12, we have 3 listings. Nobody buys those brands unless they're actually at Kohl's. So I searched Apartment 9. XO is another one of theirs. Not even pulling up. Candies. Okay, we got a little bit better, but we got Candies. Not really great, guys. So the only reason that you should learn the private labels from Kohl's is just to avoid them. Okay, so Apartment 9, Candies, XO, they launch new ones all the time. So you just, keep your eyes peeled. And the way to tell is on the tag. It's actually printed on the tag, Kohl's. Okay, that's all. Rob asked, why do I take them back? I don't know, like $5 each, and they're not really worth anything on eBay. Nobody's going to buy an anti-shoplifting tag from Kohl's. So just take them back. It makes me look like a good guy. Also, it's shady as hell, which I love. So let's talk about some shoes. Kohl's, yeah, I mean, basically, Kohl's pays me in that my Kohl's manager doesn't give a shit. Like, I can walk in and buy anything I want. He will hold inventory for me. They have racks of bras in the back that they'll let me buy. They'll call me if they're about to do a markdown, so I know when the fresh bra markdowns are and stuff like that. And that's part of building relationships with managers. So, taking back those tags, yeah, they use them. That's huge. Yeah. So shoes are a little bit trickier with sizing. Okay. So one of the things with women's shoes in particular is the most common variations are right between 5 and 10. Okay. For men's, it's between 9 and 12. Now, with smaller shoes, with smaller women's shoes like 5s and 6s, and I think as large as 7s, a lot of women will buy kid-size shoes. So my mom has really small feet, and if I had to buy I bought my mom sneakers a couple months back. I actually bought her large children's sneakers, and they fit her perfectly, but they were like half the price of a woman's shoe. So some women, especially in sneakers, will just buy the kid's size. Now, when it's like high heels and stuff like that, they don't really make kids high heels. So you can go a little bit smaller, but just keep that in mind. Again, they'll sell, but I'm just trying to give you some guidelines to like find the most profitable ones. You want to keep the context of the shoe in mind. So these shoes here, I don't have any real big shoes, but these are 9.5. That's kind of, makes sense. But here's the thing. Think of so basketball shoes, okay? People wear, so Joaquin is saying, do the extremes of the curve sell better? Well, think about this. If you're playing, so a lot of guys wear basketball shoes every day. I wear basketball shoes when I source. They're very comfortable to wear. And I'm 6'1", and I weigh about 275 pounds. So I'm fat and not that tall. I'm not really playing basketball. But if you're looking at a college football player, the kind of guy that's going to buy football cleats, like these are football, I believe these to be, yeah, I think these are football cleats. I haven't looked them up. But so these football cleats here, you always thought I was short? That's weird. So these are pretty average size shoes. Well, if you're playing at a level that you're going to buy expensive shoes, you're probably an athlete. Well, most athletes are not 6 foot tall. They're much taller than that. So with like football cleats, I will go big. I've sold size 16 football cleats, okay? Baseball cleats, even basketball shoes. I mean, look at your average basketball player. How tall is your average basketball player? I don't know, but he's tall. You know what I mean? So, and I'm at 6'1" and I wear size 12s. So, I mean, somebody that's, my brother-in-law is 6'4", and I buy shoes for him. He's a size 14. Yeah, and Bubba's saying I just sold 16s and 18s. Yeah, you can go crazy big because guys and women too, okay, that are playing sports, and women are playing a lot more sports. People don't realize this, because of Title IX. So Title IX basically says it's a college rule, okay? So in order for a college to give a man a scholarship for sports, they have to also give a woman a scholarship for sports. There used to be no college sports for women. It doesn't need to be the same sport, but so like if they have football, that's why they have cheerleading. Okay, so they give a man a cheerleader, or a man a football scholarship. They give a woman a cheerleading scholarship. Women also can get in on this with like going into college to play golf. I'm trying to convince my niece to take up golf because in New Jersey, nobody really plays golf. No women do. So you can go and play golf and like literally not know how to play golf, but you're a woman and you say you're going to play golf. And next thing you know, you can be on the female golf or the woman golf team and potentially get a scholarship for it. So when you do that, you can have women, you know, I've sold field hockey. I have a bunch of field hockey gloves over here. I'll show them to you. I just picked these up from a store that was going out of business. Okay. So these are all field hockey lacrosse gloves. Okay. So, you know, women are doing lacrosse, field hockey, that kind of stuff. So, and you know, there are women that do that and play, you know, high level sports, and they're, you know, 6 foot tall, 5'10", you know, whatever. So, you know, definitely keep that in mind. You know, the bigger shoes, again, it's just like having a large cup size. Okay, if you're size 18, guess what you're not doing? You're not walking into Payless Shoe Source and buying your pair of 18s and trotting off. Doesn't work that way. You might get lucky and go to a Nike store and find that. Maybe Journeys, but probably not. So if you need like specialty cleats, you're gonna go online, okay? The biggest pair of those Doc Martens that I bought were 14s. So I'm pretty excited about that. So Joaquin asked, what percentage of your merchandise do I not have receipts for, like auctions and liquidations and going out of business? So that store I have invoices for. I bought a large quantity of their stuff. But what I would probably say like 90% of it I have receipts for. That's kind of a tough question to answer. You're asking a hard question just off the top of my head. So I try to have receipts for everything. Rob's saying, do I find more returns and franchises? No, not really. My return rate on shoes, right about 5-6%, which isn't terrible. You know, it's not great. Average on Amazon is like 2 to 3%, so it's like double. But the ROI can be huge, so I'm not too worried about it. So that's where I'm talking to about keep the context of the shoe in mind, like sports. And then, so I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm not really an athlete, but so when it comes to fancy and dress shoes, okay, the #1 color, a lot of people that buy dress shoes have to buy them for uniforms. So most shoes that have to be dress shoes have to be black. Okay, so if I'm buying dress shoes, I want black always. Okay, also the same is true with like women's low high heels, especially if you like see reviews, like if you just really want to dive into it and look at like reviews, because like you'll see like reviews where women are like, oh, I'm a waitress and these are perfect or whatever. The like Skechers work brand and stuff like that. Those are all like, I would only sell those in black because you're wearing a uniform shoe. Those Doc Martens are a perfect example. They're a uniform shoe. I mean, if you wanted to wear a uniform shoe. Whereas with shoes like this, like, you know, if you're doing track and field, who cares what color you're wearing? Okay. So you'll see like really, really ugly. In fact, I put, there's an entire mark. It says running shoes are usually black or are usually ugly. I don't know why. So, you know, you look at running shoes. I have some running shoes over there, but let me share real quick. This is a brand that I sell a lot, Innovate. These are kind of ugly shoes, but these are super popular running shoes. A new, I mean, these are like hiking shoes a little bit, so, and yoga shoes, kind of ugly. So I don't really care about the colors of athletic shoes. In fact, yeah, non-slip soles and stuff like that. And again, it just goes back to rank, which we'll talk about rank in a moment. But when it comes to like particularly women's shoes and men's shoes that are like more of like a dress shoe, try to avoid ugly, unmatchable colors. So let me share my screen again. Nine West is really guilty of this. Okay, so Tatiana. Okay, so like looking at this shoe, black, perfect, great. Red, you see a lot of ladies in red high heels, perfect, great. These look like patent black, great. What do you wear to match plaid high heels? Okay, what is this even? Like, is this a secretary wearing a Hawaiian shirt? Like, who would buy that? So I don't have how many on this computer right now, but I guarantee you that if I ran the how many search on this, that I could pick out the #1 sellers in this like that, and pick out the bottom 3 sellers like that. Okay, bottom 3 would be this one, and that one. Maybe that one, which is also that one too. Okay, and then the top 3 would be black, patent black, and then nude. Maybe pink, okay? But nude, pink, right around there, okay? Just think about it. You know, if a woman's wearing high heels, she's wearing them for a reason. You know, she's at work, that kind of stuff. You can't wear whatever this is to work if you have a formal work environment. And maybe I'm a little wrong on that, but that's been my experience. I've sold a lot of shoes. So, and I mean, like, who would wear hearts on their shoes? I don't know. That's weird, but, you know, whatever. Okay. The plaid is for Volkswagen owners to match the tartan seats. I guess. Okay, so Asen Sen, several people have recommended that. I'll have to check that out. Chris's mom would wear flower print ones. Well, you know, there you go, guys. We got that one customer. You know, my mom would never wear high heels. She has a back problem. So, you know, I mean, there's definitely somebody out there. Okay, but you know, when I'm just in a store and I don't want to dive deep into stuff, I just I just, you know, go like off that. So I'm trying to be as quick as possible. So let me talk real quick about variations here. When I'm out sourcing, one of the things that I do is, especially with bras, you'll find, if you watch the video, I show a rack of bras that I bought. There's a lot of repeats on that rack of bras, the same color, the same models, that kind of stuff. And what I like to do with those is, once I know that a bra is profitable, so if you pull up a bra, so let me share my screen real quick with you guys. So here's a prime example. So here's a bra I'm looking at, and it won't scan. So you can actually, if you guys want, I have this full size on my screen. If you can, you actually should be able to, let me turn my light off, pull the UPC off your screen. If it doesn't work, I'll read you guys out the UPC. I'll give you 2 seconds here. So pull up your apps. Okay. Search 60, 89, 26, 10, 32, 34. Okay. Okay. So that won't pull up. Okay. At least it didn't the last time I did this. So things may change. Okay. If you search in the upper left-hand corner on that bra, there's a model number. So let's search that. Okay. So the model number is GB 056 1A. Pulled it right up. Now, the Amazon Seller app recently made a change, okay? Now, it might pull up on like exotic apps, okay? But they just did a change. The way that the listing usually looked was, let me see if I have a screenshot of it, is usually, yeah, usually when you would search something, it would show you a price range. So with that kind of bra, I will actually just grab, I'll just remember, okay, in my head, oh, okay, so this bra, the price is between $20 and $45, okay? So if I know that and I'm buying the bra for $4, it'll always be profitable if I'm paying $4 and selling it for 20. Okay, so at that point, I actually just stop scanning the bras and I just start grabbing them, okay? And if you get into like a sync with doing bras, like a lot of times when I do bras, I'll start out and I'll like go to Harrisburg and I'll hit like 6 Kohl's in Harrisburg. Then I drive down to Maryland. There's like 4 Kohl's down there. So then I'll go out to like Washington, D.C. There's like 5 Kohl's out there. So that actually, there's more than that, but I only go to one side of D.C. So that's what I do, and that's what speeds me up, okay? So does anybody, I'm going to go through the chat real quick here because people are asking questions. Okay, I'm going to grab myself another drink real quick, guys. Feel free to type out any questions. I will be right back. Okay. Good place. Ian asked a good place to source Puma. I don't really know. It's funny because so I wrote Puma a letter, actually. I used to wear Pumas when I was in high school and college. It was my signature look. And Puma started making really shitty shoes. They're just terrible. They would fall apart after a month or two. And I wrote them a letter about how crappy their shoes were, and I never heard back from them. And then like a year ago, I heard back from them, and they sent me a coupon for a free pair of shoes. And I have actually had the same pair of Pumas for a year. And they're like pretty good shape for how much I walk. So just throwing it out there. You know, there are Puma outlets. That's where I would go. I do believe Kohl's carries Puma. Now, one of the things about Kohl's discounts, and we can talk, I guess I kind of skipped over Kohl's here. Let me make sure I got my. Now is a good time. Now is a good, well, I talk about the discounts at the end, but Kohl's discounts do not count on brands owned by Nike. We'll go into that next. But Puma is part of it. So you can very often get good deals at Kohl's on brands like Puma and Reebok and stuff like that. Okay, in a spreadsheet, do I source makeup? I don't really source a lot of makeup, just for no particular reason. I do source like Ulta sometimes and Sephora, but I would probably guess that makeup is less than 5% of what I sell. Okay, so Joaquin said when a bra does not scan, it's because that exact variation in the UPC is not found, but the model will be listed. Very often the model will be listed. So when you might be a little bit new, Joaquin. So let me explain something about the way Amazon works. So when you have, no, I'm not really, I'm into anything that makes me money. I don't care what I sell. Okay, so when you have a listing, let me show you guys, let me show you a listing here. Share. Okay, so I got my 9 West Tatianas here. So let me go to a more popular listing. I should get how many on this, but okay, because whatever, this is fine, it doesn't matter. So what we have here is we have this ASIN. So that pulls up that exact wait, let me pull this up. Okay, so yeah, that's the ASIN for it. So if I search that, that's the wrong ASIN. Oh, I didn't select the size. So okay, if you look here at what I have, you'll start to see the ASIN change as I'm changing the size. It's being a little slow. So you see how that ASIN is different? It should automatically, it's not pulling up the right size when I'm doing that. But that ASIN is the unique ASIN for the size and color. Whereas this parent ASIN is the ASIN for the type of shoe, for the model of shoe. So with a bra, it's the exact same thing. So if I have, Bali and then the number and then Amateur Red, which by the way is the best color name ever, Amateur Red 34D, okay? That's gonna have a different ASIN than Amateur Red 34B. But the overall Bali model number, yes, the model corresponds to the parent ASIN. So once you know that parent ASIN, you can just see the range of the prices for the parent ASIN. So you can search the model number like the Nike or the bra or whatever. And that is, once you have that, it's just all of the children, all of the child ASINs under it are part of that. Now, another aspect to that is what's called an orphan ASIN. So an orphan ASIN is, let me pull up this here. Chris, you're gonna laugh at this. So I gave a friend of mine my Pixel 1, and she just texted me that I then sold her my Pixel 2, and she was taking forever to switch over. Well, she just dropped her Pixel 1 in water, so now she has to switch over. Okay, so this is this is the ASIN, the parent ASIN. Okay, so when we're looking here in the seller app, okay, you would see that it says price range $39.95 to $250, which is, that's bullshit. It's a $40 shoe all day. Okay, so that tells me if I'm at Ross and I see a rack of these for $5 each, I know that no matter what goes on, I will sell a $5 shoe for $40. I'll be profitable. So I want to be in and out of stores as fast as possible. So I don't bother scanning. I just grab them all. And I kind of buy them with the thought of I can take them back if I need to. Okay, it's not that big a deal. And especially if they're brand new in the box. And I barely do it anyway. But then this here is what's called an orphan. Okay, so you see here, this should be under this ASIN. Okay, there should be one top level ASIN for this shoe. So this is an orphan, that's an orphan, that's an orphan, that's an orphan. I don't know exactly, well, I do know exactly why it happens, just people making listings and not knowing how they're doing it. I don't know exactly how they get to that point, but it's very frustrating because sometimes that happens to my listings. Now, if that happens, what you want to do is on Sunday afternoon, my afternoon. So at 2 in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. Ian, you're in California. Do the math. 2 to 3 in the afternoon to about 6 to 7 in the afternoon on Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. If you call Amazon or get them to call you, the person that calls you will speak fluent English, number one. And number two, you can get to the catalog team and they will merge ASINs for you. So if I really for some reason I ended up with a ton of these shoes that I was going to live in these shoes and make this listing good, I would call the catalog team and get them to combine these all. These are called orphan ASINs. Oh. Yeah, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go a little bit later on that, but whatever. Rob, where do you live? Amateur Red. Yeah, no, it's just a funny name for a color. Okay, so far, do we have any questions? I'm about to go into quality issues and then discounts. I want to show you guys discounts and how to get discounts. We're going to talk about Kohl's and how their discount program works at that point. Okay? Okay. Whew. We're doing good. This has been I feel this has been a really good webinar because you guys are asking really good questions. Like I said, I hate when I'm doing these and everybody's quiet. It's I may as well just talk to a wall. So when you guys are asking me these questions, I'm so happy about it. So question on pricing on brands like Warner and Vanity Fair. How do you deal with Amazon not sharing the buy box and the uber low prices? I don't buy those. If Amazon, I have two relationships with Amazon. So when it comes to the buy box. So if Amazon is on the buy box dirt cheap, I'm not going to buy it unless I can buy it so cheap that I don't care. I mean, if I'm at Kohl's and the bra's $2 and Amazon's on it at $15 when really they should be at 40, I'll buy it because I don't care. $2, I'll make $5 or $6 on that sale, even if I have to sit around. So I'm not that worried. Now, most of the time, Amazon is on it roughly around MSRP or a little bit below, and that's fine with me because that gives me an idea of what that bra is selling for. So if I pull up a bra and I see, okay, it's $4 at Kohl's and Amazon's on it at $32, I know that it's probably selling at $32. So I'm just great, and I'm going to match Amazon's price. Okay. Now, here's another trick, Ian, and people that are more beginners. I talked about this in the webinar that I did before about tactical arbitrage. One of the things that I do is I have a PPC campaign that's just for bras. Okay, I break my PPC down into categories. So I have, all of my groceries are one PPC, all of my bras are one, all of my shoes are one, so on and so forth. And then what I do is I put all of my bras in that PPC category, and I find that doing PPC greatly increases my buy box. In fact, I've done experiments on this with Amazon, and I'm going to be putting it out in a podcast episode or something. But basically, I found that if your repricer is set exactly, doing a small PPC campaign will get you a much higher buy box percentage versus not doing a PPC campaign. So typically what I do is I put everything into let me step back. First, I'm going to make a video about this. So just watch my YouTube channel, Superhero Sellers. I literally have the video done. I just need to edit it. I've been really busy doing webinars. The way that it works is I go into Inventory Lab. I pull my ASIN profitability report. I'll just share it with you guys. It's actually, I shared that video earlier on bra prepping. It's that channel, okay? So what I do is I pull my ASIN profitability report. out of Inventory Lab. You could also pull, there's an inventory report in Amazon you can pull. I pull that into a spreadsheet, then I only look at the items that I have one or two of, okay, onesies and twosies, okay, then I pull those ASINs into the PPC settings and I copy and paste it in. There might be a way to do it automatically, but I do it manually, and I just do PPC. I add them all to one campaign. So I'll, like, you can break them down by brand and by category, so I can do all of my bras that I only have one or two of. Actually, I can just do all my bras, okay, because I usually only have one or two of every bra. So I pull that in, and then I set up a PPC campaign, okay? And my PPC settings, you can do 5 cents, 10 cents, bid, automatic, whatever. Do a penny. I don't care, okay? And then just like a $10 daily budget, watch your buy box percentage double overnight doing that. Won't be quite overnight because PPC can take up to 24 hours to set in, and the buy box percentage is weird. But, like, you get what I'm saying. Like, within 72 hours, your buy box percentage, unless you're already doing that, will go up, like, you know, so much. Yeah, my PPC cost is, like, I spent $750 on PPC so far this year, which compared to my sales is nothing. My average cost, my ASOS, ACOS is less than 10%. Okay, you do that crap. Yeah, so you just do 10 cent bid with a $10 daily budget, you won't get in trouble. And if you're, I mean, like, I have higher bids because, like, I have, like, private label products and grocery products that are replens and wholesale products and stuff like that. So, like, there's a lot of stuff that I don't include in that $10 a day. But if you're really worried about it, do $3 a day, do $5 a day, you know, whatever. It'll work, okay? Even if you do, you know, $3 a day with a 10 or a 5 cent bid, you'll see your buy box percentage go up. It's crazy. Okay, let's blaze through the next section real quick so we can talk about discounts longer. Okay, this is just going a little bit long, which is okay, but I just want to make sure, because you guys are asking a lot of questions, I just want to make sure we get everybody's questions answered. Which also, by the way, if I don't answer your question, you watch a replay and you got any questions for me, just message me on Facebook. You know, usually I have people call me. My car has really good Bluetooth for my phone. So a lot of times I schedule people to call me when I'm driving to work. I got 25 minutes to kill when I'm driving from my house to my warehouse. I may as well talk to one of you guys. So feel free to message me, and as long as it doesn't take long, I can't imagine you asking a question about anything covered here taking longer than that. But I have people that I'm like, listen, I'm going to drive to work. If you have a question, call me. If we can deal with it during that, it's free. I'm fine. It was good to talk to you. But, like, if I need to, like, go in depth and, like, help you for hours on something, like, I have people that are like, hey, can you source wholesalers for me? I'm like, yeah, sure, but that'll cost you. But if it's just something that I can just do while driving to work, don't worry about it. Yeah, man, call me. Do you think I do anything? I play with my cat and drink gin and tonics and go to my warehouse and watch my employees work. That's my day. Not in that order, though. That makes me sound like an alcoholic. Okay, so let's talk real quick here about quality issues here. They're very important with what you're sourcing. So, number one, as of right now, 4/25/19, brown boxes are okay to send shoes in. That may change. I would tell you to double check, make sure that that's good when you know, if you watch this later. I use brown boxes. Some people prefer white boxes. I don't think it matters. Brown box, white box, whatever. Just use a box. If you're sourcing Nike, in particular, I don't have any Nike boxes around, but you can take the Nike sticker off with a heat gun and it doesn't damage the sticker. So a lot of times with Nikes, I will do those in a brown box. I put the shoe in. Again, check the YouTube video I shared with you guys to show how I do the shoe prep, and I'll explain all of that. I take a heat gun and I take the sticker off the front of the Nike box. Then I just take standard stick glue, like, you know, whatever, you know, you give a second grader, and I put it on the front of the box. That's how I do it. And then I tape the boxes shut or rubber band them shut. Okay, so that's fine. Watch for dirt on the bottom of shoes. You know, you look at these. I mean, these are pristine. Now, to take this off, okay, Alcohol, number one, is the best. Okay, and I talk about that in the video. I talk about that because alcohol, if you get alcohol on a shoe, on a bra, or whatever, it evaporates. There's no odor. So alcohol, number one, always start with alcohol. Number two is a petroleum distillate. Guggen, lighter fluid, gasoline, kerosene, diesel. I've used them all. Okay. Number three is Everclear. Okay. Actual grain alcohol. You can buy Everclear at any liquor. So I'm in Pennsylvania. We can't buy real Everclear, but I'm talking like 190 proof Everclear. Buy a pony bottle of it. That's all you need. Okay. I have to use 151 because I live in a puritanical state, but that still really works. You'll do better with 190 proof, but 150 proof will work just fine. If you can't get Everclear, just that alcohol that like you never want to drink, okay? Buy that. That actually works. Even vodka will work, okay? If that doesn't work, and I'm just telling you, this is how I take these off. I just skip all of those. Booger wipes, like for kids, for whatever you're wiping your child's face with, if you have children, whatever you're wiping your child's snot with will remove permanent marker from the bottom of shoes. I don't know what that says, okay? But germ wipes, Germ-X wipes, all of those, Germ-X wipes, Boog wipes, they're like literally in the kids section, the stuff you wipe kids' snot with, those, just take those stickers or those numbers right off. So I did cover this in the video. Always restuff shoes. You just stick the padding down in. I use newsprint. Yeah, Doug's saying hand sanitizer has alcohol in it. Yes, exactly. So I don't know what's in those wipes because it can't just be alcohol. I don't know what it is because I've used alcohol. Alcohol won't take that off. So I don't know what it is, but Germ-X wipes work real well. So restuffed shoes, you want the toes to be nice and stuffed. Doug's saying Aquanet. I've never used Aquanet. I've heard that one. Didn't even think about that. So on bras, you want to watch out for runs and pills in the bra. That is a big no-no. You don't want those bras. You want the bras to be real pristine. However, if you have like the fabric might have like I don't know what it's technically called, but like where the thread comes out and it's frayed or fringe or something, just take a lighter. That's how I always do it. I keep a lighter right next to me when I'm prepping bras. If like I don't like the edge, I'll just go over it with a lighter real quick. Real easy to do. If you buy a bra, if you see a bra that has a deodorant mark on it, keep in mind, women try on bras. So they put on the bra over their shirt or whatever. They get the armpit deodorant on it. Real easy to get off. You take tape and tape it over your hand, tape sticky side out, just like you would like pat off a couch, okay, to get dog hair off of it. And you just use that to get the deodorant off, okay? I won't buy a bra that's like heavily deodoranted, but if you do accidentally do that, that also will take like a lot of the marks off. Every now and then I accidentally buy a bra that has like a little mark on it or some lint on it. Great way to delint a bra. Lint rollers don't work as well as packing tape, but I do also use lint rollers quite a bit, okay? And then somebody asked about underwire. Look on the inside of the bra. Look out for rust on the underwire. If it's an underwire bra, you'll see it at the corners, especially on white bras. So just look out for those. You don't see it very often, and you never see it in bras other than white bras. Like you'll never see it on a black bra or whatever. Just give a look inside the cup. Another thing, I talk about this in the video. If a bra is a strapless bra and it has strap holes in it, and I show this in the video, so I won't go too far into that. But make sure you get the straps with a strapless bra. It's an oxymoron. It's a strapless bra that comes with straps. Okay, so that's all the quality issues. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to go back through the chat real quick because Ian asked a really good question. I want to answer it. Then we're going to talk about getting discounts, particularly from Kohl's. Okay, Ian. When you come to it, and not try, but have you gone to the manufacturers to source from? Haynes has many wanted to deal with me. Went to Wakel, and that was brushed off, even though I had sufficient capital to invest. I don't like online sellers, no interest in Amazon. Yeah, no, I have not done that. Okay, I haven't done that yet, because here's the thing. You'll find if you're actually buying wholesale bras that the way we're sourcing, like specifically Kohl's and Walmart and the clearance racks and Ross and TJ Maxx, all those, you're paying less than wholesale, okay? Which I understand, buying them wholesale, it's more consistent and everything, it's less work to get the bras, but like it's way more profitable to do what we're talking about. And this whole thing is like kind of, honestly, Ian, you're probably, this whole coaching is kind of a bit geared towards smaller sellers that are looking to crack into this market, less towards people that are like looking to contact major manufacturers. Okay, just, that was kind of the scope when I wrote this. But I will say this. I have done what I've really thought a lot, Ian, about launching a brand of bras myself. I've looked into it and I've researched it, and maybe you and I can connect on that. I helped a private label seller. She's out of the business, so I can talk about this, but she actually launched a brand of flats, of like women's flats shoes, and she wanted to do a subscription model where every month you would just get a pair of ballet flats for $20. And I helped her with sourcing those and everything. So, that was a good way to go. That was interesting. So maybe if you want to talk to me about that, just shoot me a message after this. We'll talk about that privately. Now, Rob asked, what's your profit minimum on shoes? I don't really have a profit minimum. I'll slide that. But usually my profit minimum on most things that I'm selling is $5 to $10. But I also look at the ROI. I always try to double my money. So because I find that has enough room in it for me to go up and down with pricing wars and stuff like that. So if I'm picking up like a pair, like this is a perfect example. I picked these up from Ross at $17. They're selling for about $45. So I would about double my money, give or take, okay? And make about $15 on it. So that's pretty good. Now, beat up boxes. Would you ship Nike in boxes sort of worn from places like Marshall's? You don't have Marshall's, but pictures worn by. Yeah, and there's a little bit of shelf scarring on the box. I'm fine with that. I would rather send a shelf scarred Nike box than a regular generic box. Okay, personally, that's been my experience. I do that quite a bit from like Kohl's. Okay. Okay, Joaquin asks, have you noted variation in the amount of discount that exists between Kohl's stores? Some markets discontinue more than that. Yes, absolutely. It actually has nothing to do with the discontinuing. It has to do with the sales volume and the shoplifting rate in the area. I talked to my Kohl's manager, so this is direct from a Kohl's manager. So my Kohl's is a very small Kohl's. Nobody goes in it. It has a very low sales velocity. On Black Friday, they did $250,000 in sales. And I'm like, really? Because I did almost that much, and I'm like 3 people. You know what I mean? They have a lot of employees and a way more expensive warehouse. So that being said, you would be remiss to what it comes down to, and this is also, I know, true for Walmart, but maybe not other stores. So the clearance rate is set by the manager, and the manager has a what's called a shrink rate, which is basically like shoplifting and corporate theft. And then out of that, it comes out of a budget, and then they can, out of that, also clearance items. So if you go into high shoplifting areas, like inner cities and areas like that like are super shady, you may find worse clearance deals because people steal more, and then they have less money for the clearance budget. Whereas you go out in the middle of nowhere where there's like less people and less traffic, and you will find better clearance deals, okay? So the problem is, Joaquin, so it's better to source. It's a percentage. So the thing is that those stores that are hit hard by shoplifting also may have higher volume sales. So at the same time, yes, they might lose way more than the Kohl's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, to shoplifting, but they're also much higher volume. So it's a percentage. So there's no rhyme or reason to it. So that's the thing. And sometimes I'll walk into a bra. Okay, give me a minute. Ian, we'll go back to that. So there's really no rhyme or reason, but there are stores that, like, I know. So the store in Altoona, Pennsylvania for Walmart has an incredibly high shoplifting rate. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. Well, meth. Okay. So incredibly high shoplifting rate, but there's another Walmart literally 5 miles down the street has a very low shoplifting rate, way better clearance. Okay. Clearance is calculated the same ways for both Kohl's and Walmart. So, you know, and I worked at a store called Sheetz. If you guys are familiar with Central Pennsylvania convenience stores, that Sheetz did the exact same thing. So when people shoplifted, that came out of employee bonus, which also is where clearance comes out of. It's a weird thing. So Ian's saying, any sanitary issues with people returning bras and Amazon selling the return back into your inventory? I've allowed it to happen, but I worry because it's Amazon employee expecting a return. I always have my returns returned to me. I always do that. And I use a very particular poly bag. I use a poly bag from ilovesupplies.com. I misspelled supplies. Okay, ilovesupplies.com. It's a very unique poly bag. Amazon doesn't use it. They use Uline bags. I use these. You can tell the difference. And in the prepping video, I show some concerns about that. If I get back a bra that's been tried on, I inspect it. If it is unsellable, I donate it. Okay, find a women's shelter near you, donate them. I'll tell you right now. So what I do with, I've actually donated so many bras to my local women's shelter, they've told me to stop. Okay, so they were like, yeah, can you stop giving us bras? Because think about it, I mean, if a woman leaves an abuse, you know, like leaves her husband and he's, you know, she's scared for her life, she's not going to grab her a lot of clothes. She's going to go with the clothes on her back. So that's been my thought on it, and that's worked real well. So there's a women's shelter I donate to, a men's shelter I donate to, a teen shelter, that kind of stuff. And they'll give you tax deductions, and it's real nice because the women's shelter and the homeless shelter will give me tax deductions at retail value. So if the bra is a $42 bra, they give me a tax deduction at $42, which is real nice because I paid like $4 for it. So I should probably like remove that from the recording, because if the IRS watches this, they might disagree. Not that the IRS is going to watch this. So Chris Keene says great bags. Yes, great bags are great bags. High level Kohl's secret, Ricardo? Not really. Just schmooze a manager. How do I approach? Usually they'll approach you if you go to the same. I assume that word that you typed was approach. So usually they'll notice you. Because it's unusual what you're doing, especially if you're a dude. You know, look at me. This is like literally what I wear to go and buy bras. You know, weird long hair. I drive a white cargo van, and I'm wearing a Star Wars Beatles shirt. You know, like they'll notice you, okay? And, you know, this is dead inventory. Clearance is clearance because it's dead inventory. The Spanish word for clearance is liquidation. They want to liquidate that inventory and get it into cash. So I am doing that for them. I'm actually doing them a service. Okay, so they look at me in a very positive way. Now I know that corporately Kohl's is anti-reseller. I know that Target is corporately anti-reseller. That's great. Kohl's corporate can be anti-reseller till the end of days. But as a store manager, I'm some dude that's walking in, buying all the crap they can't sell and spending a lot of money, and my money's good and they're happy about it. So I don't see how they can have any concern at the store level. I wouldn't go in while there's like a DM or something, but okay. Let's talk getting better price. I have a spreadsheet. So I'm going to share this spreadsheet with you guys, but I will share this with you guys right now. If you guys want to play along at home, you know what's so funny is that, so I take my niece shopping with me, who's 17 years old, and that's always kind of awkward because I think that people think that she's my girlfriend, which is real weird. Okay. But it's funny, like if I take like a woman shopping, like I've taken Missy bra shopping, like at Kohl's, like to buy stuff. I've taken my mom with me just to, you know, my mom likes to go out and about with me when I go shopping. It's always funny when I take a woman with me because they'll be like, oh, you know, these are different sizes. And like they'll always tell that to the woman. Like it's weird. Like she wouldn't notice I just bought 50 bras. I did one time tell a cashier though, they were like, oh, why are you buying so many bras? I was like, I have no idea what my wife's bra size is. So I just bought one of every size and I'll just return all the ones that are wrong. And the girl's like, what? And I'm like, no, I'm kidding. I'm selling them. So, okay. So earlier I showed a picture of a bra with a tag on it. It wasn't that one. Okay, so we got this bra here, okay? Standard bra, $9.80, so it's 80% off, okay? It's a 40, actually this is shapewear, okay, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So $49 is the original price on it. We're at 80% off, so it's $9.80, okay? Okay. So that's, we've entered the price and got, okay. By the way, if you want to do this with me as I'm doing this, what you want to do is copy and paste, either just watch me and do it yourself, okay? But copy and paste this whole thing into another spreadsheet. You can't edit this because there's like math formulas and stuff in it, and if I let people edit it, it'll get broken. Okay, so let's look at Kohl's. Let's see what they got deal-wise. Okay, so right now, they don't have great sales on. I wouldn't be shopping at Kohl's right now. Okay, what I want to see is a 30, 20, 15 sale. Okay, that's a very standard sale. They do that a lot, but you got to have a Kohl's card. So I recommend getting a Kohl's card. Then I recommend using crazycouponlady.com. Okay, crazycouponlady.com. It's, just Google it. It's spelled with K's in weird places. Okay, what that'll do is when they put out a 30% code, they put it on that website. So what you do is you take the Kohl's app, okay, and you open up your okay, Kohl's app. I'm pulling up the Kohl's app. Kohl's. Okay, so I got my Kohl's app open. I have a ring light now because I try to be professional and it just, the glare on my phone's bad. So you go to wallet. Okay, so I just clicked wallet. Let me wipe my phone off so I can show you guys how to do this. Okay. So you go to wallet, okay, which is right in the Kohl's app. Use the Kohl's app, okay? It's really good. Then I go to add to wallet, and then once I'm in add to wallet, I can enter the coupon code. So they just did one the other day that was spring 30. Okay, I enter that, and then when I go into my wallet, I'll have a coupon, and I go to my Kohl's offers. Okay, I don't have any offers right now because they're not really doing a sale, but that would be right there with the barcode. And then I'm allowed, or I'm able to say to the cashier, oh, hey, I have that coupon. And they'll scan it right there. Typically, the better coupons, like the 30% off and shit like that, you need your a Kohl's credit card. Kohl's and Target are the only two store credit cards I have. I used to have Peebles, and now I'm banned for life from Peebles. So But most of the time with their sales, even if you don't have a Kohl's credit card, you just do 20%. They'll give you a 20% off coupon. You get that online, okay? And you can pay any way you any way you want. So the in-store cash back is the Kohl's Cash, which is 20% off. Okay, so $10 for every 50. That's $20 for every 100. 20%. In-store percent, because so normally it's 1%. That's the Kohl's yes to rewards or whatever. Normally it's 1%. Right now they're doing double, so it's 2%, but that's really nothing. And I'm just like setting this up for like a normal buy. So sales tax if applicable, it's actually 0 on clothing in my state, but you set that to whatever it is in your state. So perfect. Now the raised percentage, I buy so many gift cards from Kohl's on raise, but let's look here. We'll go to Kohl's. Oh, will they take a reseller cert? Nope. No, it's just 0% because I live in a state that doesn't tax clothing. But Ian, here's the thing. I don't know how it is in California. In Pennsylvania, if I pay sales tax, I just remit my sales tax to the state and I just deduct its tax you've already paid. So you can deduct sales tax you've paid with your business into your federal and state income tax, or business tax, I should say. Don't ask me tax questions. I'm really bad at it. I hire somebody for that. So this is a little, this is called Rev ROI, okay, if you guys are watching my screen. This doesn't really help us much, but we want to look at discount gift cards. And I usually use Raise, okay, but Card Pull is also good. So they're about 8% off. What you want to look for is an e-gift card, because in Raise, if you buy an e-gift card, it will deliver it to you almost instantly. It's within 5 to 10 minutes. So like if you go into a Kohl's and you're like, oh shit, there's a lot of bras here. You go in there and start buying e-gift cards. By the time you go to check out, you got them delivered. The trick to buying good gift cards to Kohl's is to buy them when they're not having a good sale. Right now, they're not having a good sale. That's why they're so cheap. Okay, when they do a 20% off plus 20% back in Kohl's Cash, you'll be able to get them for like 3%. Okay, not as good. So if you get them now, you'll get them for 5% or 8% off, which is pretty good. So raise percentage, I should call it gift card off percentage, but whatever. So 8% off, Ebates to Raise. So that's the percentage off to buy it. These are papers, but there you go. E-gifts at $8, 8% off. Those are good, solid cards. Let's see what cashback. There's no cashback available, so that's okay. 0, 0. Okay. I use a 2% cashback card. Now I will say this. This is what Rob was talking about, my Q4 group. One of the things I do with my Q4 group is I buy a lot of appliances from Kohl's, because Kohl's does a deal where they have their appliances on one. It's like 3 days that they have this, where you can buy it. You get 30% cash back in Kohl's Cash, plus a $12 mail-in rebate that they give you in a Visa gift card. And the appliances are all $12. So when you do that, you basically end up getting paid $1.50 to buy their appliances. And none of them are good for Amazon. Few of them are good for Amazon, I should say. I sell them all locally. I mean, you know, you tell a toaster oven on Facebook Marketplace for $10, like, you know, come pick it up. I love it when people are like, oh, can you deliver? I'm like, nope, somebody else will buy it. Oh, will you do $8? Nope, somebody will pay 10. Oh, okay, I'll be over. And I'm like, what was the point of that? Hate marketplace sellers selling. So anyway, what you can see here is after this, you can use whatever percentage you want, but I use the full discount percentage. So if I'm in Kohl's scanning a bra and I see that it is $9.40 or $9.80 my discount's roughly 50% off you know, if I get a good gift card, all that stuff. That's how you Kohl's, guys. Okay. I spend a lot of money at Kohl's this way, this exact way. Okay. Now, if you have a Kohl's credit card and they have the 30% off sale, it goes 58% off. That's pretty sweet. So, Ian, that is in the prep video. But if they do the strike through it, I typically will then put my ASIN sticker on the tag on the bra and on the outside of the poly bag. But it's in the prep video. I talk about that. So there you guys go. Does that make sense to Kohl's? Okay. Do you guys understand how Kohl's works? No. So Joaquin, I'm actually looking at the clearance tag. So my clearance tag is 80% off. Okay. So I started with that, where it's originally a $50 bra, or $50. This is shapewear, and now I'm paying $4 for it. Let's see if I can pull this up on Amazon right now. Okay, if you guys want to do along with me, 0377 45 21 29 62. And didn't pull up, but it should give you an idea. Like, wait, oh shit. Did I not? Oh my God, did I mess up this share? I'm so sorry if you guys didn't see this. Okay, did you guys see me entering the inputs into this spreadsheet?
No, you weren't sharing your screen.
I was not, or was?
Not.
Okay, let me show real quick here. Sorry. Okay, so I started with my with this picture here, where's a bra. This is shapewear, whereas originally $49. Then it was marked down to $9.80. Okay, so I input that into the buy cost into the spreadsheet. Okay, percentage off the top right now. Well, right now the actual percentage off the top is 0%. But I wouldn't buy right now. I would wait over the weekend. They'll probably do something like a 20% off. They always do it over the weekend. Okay, so 20% off with their card, or actually with any form of payment, plus then to 20% back with the Kohl's Cash. I count that when I purchase it. However, the Kohl's Cash technically is a higher percentage than 20% because it's 20% if you break even on your purchase with it. So that's why I use Kohl's Cash so much, because I do so much OA with Kohl's, but I can't spend the Kohl's Cash because my accounts are all locked. So then what I do is I dump it into bras, and if I'm, calculating my price, and I go in and I buy bras and then, pay $5 for a bra, sell it for $40, that's not 100% ROI. It's a higher ROI. But I don't know how I would calculate that. That would be a crazy calculation. My in-store is my Yes2 rewards, which right now is 2%, but usually is 1%. Sales tax in Pennsylvania on clothing is 0. Change that how it is in whatever state you're in. The raise percentage is the percentage of gift card discount I get. So right now they are 8% off. My Ebates to raise, I called it Ebates to raise because that's what I use mostly. But my cashback on the gift card site that I use, my Ebates to the store, this spreadsheet is made not just for in-store, but for online. My rebate percentage, that's not a percentage, that's actually a fixed price. I talked about the $12 rebate they do. And then the credit card cashback, I use a 2% cashback credit card. And then that's what I come up with, 49%. Now, I only ever do this once. Usually, I only calculate this actually on $100 just to get that nice round even number. but I see that discount percentage. So now when I'm scanning in store, I'm like, oh, it's roughly 50% off this price. So when I'm looking at this bra, it's not $9.80. It's $4.90. So pretty sweet. Now it makes sense. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? I know that I went through that. Unfortunately, I went through it once, very detailed, and then once very quickly, but with you guys seeing my screen share. But that's the thing. So here's another strategy I do. So I like to travel a lot. I, you know, I don't really like where I live, so I travel quite a bit. And what I do is I'll jump in my van and I'll like drive out to Pittsburgh and hit a bunch of Kohl's, and then I'll go over to Brandon Trainer's house, and we get drunk and play video games, and then I'll drive up to Erie, and then I'll drive to Buffalo, and I just like do that. That's my weekend. Okay, so like Thursday, Friday, I'm in Pittsburgh. Saturday, I'm in Erie all day. Sunday, I'm in Buffalo, and then on Monday, I drive my way home and make my way meander back. So I have all this Kohl's cash. I have like $1,000 in Kohl's cash. What I do then is I spend that locally to me. I spend my Kohl's cash locally because then I'm able to dump it very quickly. If I went and bought all these bras and got Kohl's cash from my local store, I wouldn't be able to easily spend my Kohl's cash. So I get my Kohl's cash elsewhere and easily spend it local to me. When you get Kohl's, you concentrate mostly on bras, or you wander, I wander all over the store. I bought like coffee makers, shoes, men's clothes, bras, anywhere. Okay, so Doug, I don't do that. So I'm not a veteran, okay? You do whatever you want. I don't really care. But I don't do that, and I wouldn't do that because I've had people like bring that up with like senior discounts because my mom's a senior. So I gotta like take my mom with me to Kohl's. The reason I don't do that is because we're doing it for resale. And I worry that if people do that, I know other sellers that do that also that are veterans. I worry that if they do that, that we would fundamentally mess up the point of the discount. You know what I mean? I think that veterans discounts are for like personal people, not business shoppers. Just that's me. That's my opinion. That's me. You do you. I mean, I have a school ID, I could technically get a lot of discounts just with my old college ID. It doesn't have a date on it, even though I dropped out of college in 2008. Okay, so let me check my slides here. Okay, so I think I already talked about this, but you definitely sign up for the emails for the stores. Get the apps. I have the Kohl's app. I got the Walmart app. I got the Target app. I got the Peebles app. I got all the apps. Get them. Okay, they're very helpful. Put them in a folder. Okay, I hate all the apps on my stuff. Put them all in one folder and you're set. Let me stop sharing here. There you go. Okay, so I put them all in one folder in my phone and it keeps them nice and organized. But they're really trying to push those apps. So it's nice to have those on because I'll get alerts like from Target, like a sale that they alert you. If you're a Q4 shopper, they're like 30 days in Q4. They will just do an alert every day. Like, hey, this is a sale we're doing today. Okay, Target does that a lot. Kohl's does it a lot. So definitely worth it to have. Sign up for the mailing list. Sign up for the text message list. It's so annoying, but it's worth it. Use gift cards when possible. Buy them when there's not good sales, okay? So I jokingly, when I did the last video, I'll show you. This is what's so great about my Facebook, my personal Facebook, is it's a mixture of my friends from high school and my reseller friends. So I go here. So Target's having a sale right now where you get 20% off certain items if you trade in a car seat. Okay. So I post this, okay, and this is what you see. So I saw that, on their website in the ad, okay, and then I post this, and like this is the kind of stuff you can look out for, these like weird little sales that they have. I don't know why, I guess. so definitely keep your eye out for that. And I talked about the I talked a little bit about the discounts and stuff. So I will say this. Joaquin's asking a question. Okay, so about Kohl's. Kohl's has, I don't know what the corporate policy on Kohl's is with their credit card, but I've run into several situations with the credit card with Kohl's. So when they do the 30% off, okay, my local Kohl's will give me the 30% off just by showing them that I have a Kohl's credit card. And they tap the button and I'm off. I don't use my Kohl's credit card at all. Most Kohl's say that you have to put some on, but not all. Okay, so most Kohl's do that. So some can be like literally $1 or $5. I just use like $10. Some Kohl's, and I see this particularly in New York, say you have to max your credit card. Okay, max your Kohl's card. So if you're going to be in an area that has a bunch of those, the trick is to bring some cash with you, like cash. Like, I know we don't see it a lot. I'm going to show you guys an antique right now. Cash. Okay, so what you do is you go to the front, you check out. Okay, I keep zero balance on my Kohl's card because it's like the worst card for interest. Okay, my Kohl's spending limit I think is $300. They're constantly trying to get me to up it, and I'm like, no. Can you make it lower? Like, could I get like a $10 Kohl's card? Is that possible? But anyway, so what you do is if they're going to make you max your card, you go up, you max your card. Okay, then you go to the service desk and you give them $10. Okay, in cash. You can't do it on a debit card, can't do it with a check, can't do it with a credit card. You do it in cash because they can instantly deduct the $10 then off your card. Then you go to the next Kohl's, and when they say, oh, you got to max your card, well, guess what? Your card limit is now $10. And then you go up to the service desk, you give them the $10, they add it, then you go to the next Kohl's, and so on and so forth. And then at the end of that weekend, when you're done buying from Kohl's, you go give them the $300 in cash, and you're done. Okay? And yes, I always try to pay at least a small amount with my bill. Actually, you know what? I think that that's a little bit of a myth about that with Amazon. Almost everything I do is with with gift cards. Not always. There's like I'll do stuff that's on credit card, but now I will say this. Do consider the cards, the store credit cards. I've used Peebles before. Peebles is real regional. A lot of people don't know what it is. Where you get for them, you got a small amount of cash back. It was like 1%, so that wasn't really worth it. But they had sales that would go extend a day and start a day early, and you could like get multiple sales at once. Check out my YouTube channel where I actually got banned for life. It's like trespassing if I go in a Kohl's, or not a Kohl's, Peebles. Okay, I exploited some sales, and they thought that I was shoplifting. I disagree. But anyway, so just check those out with the Kohl's or the store credit cards. You definitely can do well with it. I wouldn't do like the Walmart store credit card. That's like, it's kind of like for poor people to finance stuff. So don't do that. But like the Target Red card at 5% off with everything, that can definitely be worth it. Of course, they track your sales, so you're easier to ban. Ian's asking any Amazon flips on bras. I've yet to run into that. Well, I'm sure you probably could, but it's not something that I've ever looked into. I'm sure you could, though. Do Amazon flips on anything. Chris said he exploited a Kohl's coupon screw up, got $10K worth of product for $400, $4K. Perfect. Nice. Yeah, I really hate Target. I'm gonna mess with Target from now on. Target really pissed me off. I bought gift cards from them when they were having a gift card sale with cash, and they voided all my gift cards, and then took their sweet time giving me my money back. It got to a point where the way I got my money back was I have a lawyer that's like I say he's on retainer, but having a lawyer on retainer means you pay them to be on retainer. This guy is not on retainer, but like he just handles like I had an issue with a car being unregistered, and he's handling my divorce and like all that stuff. And was like, hey, you want to go out to dinner and go to Target with me? So we walked into Target together. They weren't going to give me my money back, so I walked into Target with my lawyer. And I was like, hey, can I get the manager? And this guy talks, and they're like, well, like, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm Jerry Lowenthal, Esquire. I'm like, oh, okay. And then that got me my money back pretty quick. Just bought my lawyer to Target with me. It worked pretty well. So guys, we're kind of at the end here, but did anybody have any questions? Joaquin says, would like to know other webinar subject courses you have, and if you do coaching, particularly interested. Oh, Joaquin, yes. So I do a Q4 group. I will do it this year. It absolutely will be happening. Joaquin, what state are you located in? If you do tactical arbitrage, I have a course on tactical arbitrage. I don't know if you already bought it. And by the way, anybody that's watching this that bought both of them, I got to do the PayPal thing this evening. It's been a crazy day with doing webinars. I was doing webinars earlier. I was doing a webinar for my wholesale group. I have just, add me as a friend on Facebook because I launch products all the time. We just did this really cool product about co-packing, which is basically private label grocery and bundling and private label and wholesale. It's like all of these all together in one course. And it was really, really awesome. Rob, you've been in a lot of my stuff. Chris, you're in that one. I like it. Tactical arbitrage is the best. If you're frustrated with tactical arbitrage, the course that I made is for you. So, were you, Rob? Oh, you weren't in. Well, Rob, did you see the Q4 group or the? Well, Chris, you were in the TA group. Am I right about that? It's basically for people that are frustrated with tactical arbitrage. It's like to get you to go from like. Give me one second. Missy's calling me. Hey, babes. Hey, can I call you right back in just a couple minutes? I'm just wrapping up my webinar. Okay. Okay. Bye. Yeah. So, like, if you're frustrated with tactical arbitrage, this is for you. Yeah, I don't like the VA sourcing list thing, but that's like my own thing. Tactical arbitrage is definitely the way to go, I think. Plus, if you do that webinar, I'll source during the webinar, and you can pay for the course that way. I did some cold sourcing in the last webinar that I have to go back now that we're done here, and yeah, I have to go and buy some stuff. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, ultimately, so like I'm building, guys, ask me questions, interrupt me while I'm talking. I'm building my wholesale business and my private label business, and I have a prep company and stuff like that. And what the thing about it is that I still really love retail arbitrage. So it's like with Q4, like I'm there buying stuff because that's what I enjoy doing, So when I have my Q4 group, it's pretty good. I think it's probably the thing I do best. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys know who Jonathan Barron is. I'm literally doing the webinar again tomorrow. So, yeah, here. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just sharing something with you guys real quick. Here's the sales page for the TA group. Just message me on Facebook. The reason that the thing with the TA thing, the tactical arbitrage thing, firstly you get $20 off with it, but it's like hands-on and everything like that. And I would say don't buy my. I'm literally doing it again tomorrow night. You asked a lot of really good questions, and I would tell you to do it live with me, not buy the recording. I don't do a discount for the recordings. Just do it live with me. You got more out of this. You got a lot out of this. So whether you would put on a popular low. So Ian's asking, we talk about whether you would put on an unpopular low ranked, okay, real quick, Joaquin, today's Friday, I'm doing them Saturday night. So, you know, what happened was, this is like, I didn't share this like publicly. So my mom is, my mom got screwed over by a contractor, and this contractor like trashed her house and then did a really bad job fixing some stuff. My mom needs like $5,000 to get this fixed. And I went super deep on a co-pack grocery product. So like I'm all tapped out with money right now. I'm just like, I have my reserves left. And I didn't want to like tap into my savings and like my life support system, you know, my run away to Colombia when the IRS catches up with me money. So what I did was I'm doing these and then using that money to help my mom fix her house. It's just, you know, I'm just telling you guys, like, that's why I did this. I don't really do a lot of trainings because it's just, you know, I don't know. I like my evenings. I like to play video games and play with my cat. So, you know, whatever. Now, Ian, can you talk about whether you would put on an unpopular low-ranked bra? I mean, it's all about the variations. I find with variations that the less variations you have, the more a product will sell. So, like an example, and it's actually part of this. I had a shoe that was $250,000 in shoes, but it only had 6 variations. I also at the same time sent some Nikes that were like 100 in shoes. It actually took longer to sell the Nikes than it did the boots that were $250,000. And what it all came down to is that, you know, if you look at, you know, how a lot of people interpret rank is they try to figure out, oh, well, how many times a month does this sell? Well, a shoe that's ranked 100 in shoes is selling thousands of times a month. Whereas something that's selling, you know, it's $250,000 in shoes is selling a few times a month. I don't know how many it is. But if you only have like 6 variations or 8 variations, if all things are equal, you're more likely to sell your variation with less variations. You know, like if you're in a 1 in 8 shot of selling the shoe when it sells versus the Nikes in particular, they had like 1,800 variations. So even if it was selling 3,000 a month, let's say, you know, averaging around, I would sell each variation twice a month. But of course, you know that that's not how that works. You know that there's a popular size, there's popular colors and all that stuff. So the thing is that what's so nice about doing the you know, lower ranks or worse ranks, I should say. You know, I say lower ranks, but it's like golf. You want the lower rank. The higher ranks is that if there's less variation on the particular model, you can actually do pretty well. And that's something that I would experiment with to kind of get the feel for it. That's definitely the thing. I want to tell you to experiment on that. Too many people like want the exact answer. It's like, well, I can't really give you an exact answer. Just feel it out yourself. Joaquin, just add me on Facebook. I'll message you and hook you up. So did anybody else have any questions? By the way, other than Chris, you don't count in this. Is anybody in Minneapolis? I'll be in Minneapolis next week. I'm flying in on the 2nd. I'm gonna hang out with Missy for like 5 days, go camping with her and her son, and then I'm gonna do a meetup night in Minneapolis for dinner and drinks with FBA sellers. So. Okay, guys. Yeah, I got to come back to Boston. I had so much fun with Dan. There's a lot of sellers out in Boston, other than you. Bob Steele's out there. Dan Earl is out there. Wendy, I can't pronounce her last name, and her daughter. There's a lot of really awesome sellers out there that I really would like to connect with more. Chris Green's out there. I went over to Chris Green's house. Chris Green has a llama, and I went and fed a llama with Chris Green. I yelled at a llama, hey, it was, here's your dinner, Tina, you fat lard. And his kids were like, what are you talking about? And I felt so old. So. The seller near me that has a beard and is a veteran. I don't know. I think you're talking about Matt Hartle, who is a vet. Yeah, he's not near me. He's about 5 hours from me. He lives in Virginia Beach. I'm going to try to convince him to come up. He came up with me for Black Friday last year. Yeah, he's awesome. I love Matt. So. Okay, guys, listen, I'm going to pop off here. Feel free to message me. Anybody that has any questions, Joaquin, message me. I'll hook you up with a tactical arbitrage training. Ian, if you got any questions about anything, message me. Anybody, message me. I'm always available for you guys. And that's the big thing. I don't need to, charge you guys for anything. If you got a question about what was in this, it's all complimentary. I really appreciate you guys joining me, helping me fix the bad drywall in my mom's house. So anyway, guys, it was great to talk to you guys. I had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you learned a lot. And the biggest takeaway is I hope that you use what I gave you guys and what you learned. Okay? And that's the thing. That's the biggest thing. So anyway, guys, I will talk to you later. You have a wonderful night. I hope you make a lot of money. Thanks, Bubba.